Hey, Prime members, you can listen to Crime and Sports early and ad-free on Amazon Music. Download the app today.
Your weekly dose of romance and drama has arrived. Season 29 of The Bachelor is here, and Grant Ellis, certified hottie and former day trader, is trading his day job on Wall Street for a second chance at everlasting love. New episodes drop every Monday at 8/7 Central, bringing you fresh twists in Grant's journey to find his soulmate. This self-proclaimed mama's boy is all grown up and ready to invest his heart. Will his playful charm win over the house full of hopefuls, or will the competition prove too intense? From heartfelt moments to adrenaline-pumping dates, each week brings new surprises in the mansion. Will Grant find his perfect match or end up with a broken heart? Tune in every Monday at 8/7 Central on ABC and stream on Hulu for new episodes of The Bachelor.
In the depths of an Atlanta forest, a clash between activists and authorities ends in tragedy. I'm Matthew Scher, and on my new podcast, We Came to the Forest, we expose the hidden truths behind a shootout that left one activist dead and countless lives forever changed. Binge all episodes of We Came to the Forest ad-free on Wondery Plus.
Hello, and welcome to Crime and Sports.
Yay!
Yay, indeed, Jimmy. Yay, indeed. My name is James Pietragallo. I'm here with my co-host.
I am Jimmie Whisman.
Thank you so much for joining us again this week on another crazy edition of Crime and Sports. They've been wild lately.
Yeah,
We've had OJ since the break. We had a 1 week off break, and we then have had OJ, Lenny Dykstra, and Dirty Dick Slater.
Dirty Dick.
Of the Dirty Dick, whole pyramid. The Dirty Dick
umbrella.
The Dirty Dick Darrell Dingus Dodge Daihatsu, and that whole umbrella.
Yeah.
It's in there. So it's been crazy, and this week we're going to keep it going with a crazy episode. And this guy's just a character.
Yeah.
Not even really, sort of an idiot, not really an asshole,
Yeah.
I guess, but could be a real asshole. If something that was accused is true, then he's a real asshole.
Oh.
But we don't know. But anyway, he's just an interesting guy. We'll talk about him in a second, though. Before we get into that, I want to thank everybody, of course, for all of the reviews this week.
Thank you.
All of your reviews on Apple Podcasts, the purple icon, those are important. They drive you up the charts. Why? We have no idea.
No clue.
Why would they do that? I don't know why they would make that important. There's the listens and how many people are listening should be everything, but they make you do that. So for business purposes, if you haven't done it yet, please give us 5 stars. It doesn't matter what you say. Say you're following instructions, following directions. It's not for our ego. It's just to drive us up the charts. So thank you, everybody who's done that, and to everyone who will do that. And whatever platform you listen to, you can do it on there, and it would be greatly appreciated. Other than that, go to shutupandgivememurder.com. Oh, yes. You can get all of your needs, all of your crime and sports and small town murder t-shirts and mugs and bags, and it's all up there. We have new stuff up there, too.
Yeah.
There's a ton of new stuff up there. Sarah's pumping them out every day. All sorts of new stuff. And especially what you want to get on that website is tickets.
Yeah.
Tickets to live shows, full slate of small town murder live shows.
They're everywhere.
Crime and Sports, October 19th, Phoenix, Arizona, CB Live. Tickets are on sale
now.
Right now.
Yes.
Get them today. They went on sale Saturday because they said they literally were like, we're getting harassed here. Can we please just figure something out? And we said, yeah, please put them on sale.
I love it.
And they did. And before they were even announced on social media or anything, they had already sold like 40 tickets, they said. So it was like in the 10 minutes they put them on sale and didn't tell anybody.
Yeah.
People found them in those 10 minutes.
Incredible.
So get your tickets to that. We don't want people to get left out of that. And October 19th in Phoenix, we promise it's not going to be like 112 outside.
Right.
It'll be starting to cool off. So if you're coming from out of town, it's not a big deal. Do that.
It's a good time of year.
It's not bad. Yeah. And finally, if we have to thank our producers, of course, the people who will speak in glowing terms about at the end of the show. Thank you for everybody that does that. If you want to be a producer of ours and help out the show, you can do that extremely easily by going to patreon.com/crimeinsports or going over to PayPal and using our email address, which is crimeinsports@gmail.com. Right. And you can also get to those from where, Jimmy?
Shutupandgivememurder.com.
That's right. And also listen to Small Town Murder if you don't do that, because you're missing out on a lot of crazy if you haven't heard that. We have a story of like trailer vampire people who keeps birds as a snack in his pocket. These are the type of people that we're talking about. This is the type of cases we deal with on this. It's insane. So listen to that. And that doesn't even scratch the surface.
That sounds like something an 8-year-old says is under his bed.
Yeah, exactly. Well,
and that guy existed.
This guy existed while he was. It's disturbing, but funny. You got to check it out. But we'll get into our own disturbing case this week.
Right.
And Jesus, it's because we've had a lot of heaviness too. It's been a lot of like heavy stuff and OJ and head coming off. So we're going to keep it. And this is a pun, by the way, or a little wordplay for you. We're going to keep it lighter this week with Oliver Miller.
Oh.
If you know who he is, that's why it's a joke, because he is not light by any stretch of the imagination.
Color or weight.
No,
he's a dark man and heavy as fuck.
Yeah, no, he's 2 OJs heavy is what he is. I would call him 2 OJs, I would say. He's like 3 Dykstras.
Yeah.
Especially like when he was drafted.
Yeah.
Like early, like 86, 87 Dykstra. Like, oh man, Oliver Miller's like 3 of him put together. 2 huddling together and 1 sitting on top. Yeah. That's what it is there. Oliver.
That's hilarious because we used to watch games with him and like getting back down the floor, it would be 4-on-5 for like at least 10 seconds.
He's coming. But he, you could always find him on the court. That was one thing. There he is. He stood out. He's taken up two widths of lane.
Yeah.
It's Oliver J. Miller Jr.
OJ.
He's
OJ Miller Jr.
OJ Miller Jr. Yes. Think about that. And his dad.
That implies there's somebody bigger.
There is. O.J. Miller Sr. We will talk about because he will give O.J. a run for his money, that guy. So it's a...
Wow.
No, this is a weird...
Already this is fun.
It's a weird one, man.
Jordan would have to do like 2 spin moves behind him to get to the other side.
He's great on defense because, he doesn't really even have to move his feet. He's always taking a charge. Just stay put, Ollie. They can't get around you, I promise.
He's so big.
He's a big motherfucker, and he was a good player, too.
Yeah.
We'll talk about it. He was fun to watch. I enjoyed him. I saw him in his first game in Phoenix at the first game at what it was then America West Arena. It was first game with him and Barkley, and I remember being like, who is that fucking guy out there? He's bigger. He made Barkley look thin. He made Barkley look svelte, which is an odd thing that you don't see. 'Cause, like, I've met Charles Barkley. He's literally 2 of me wide.
Right.
We're the same height.
Big fucking man.
We're the same height, but he's 2 of me wide. It's like, whoa, you're a big dude.
And now after retirement, he's likely much bigger.
Oh, he's big.
Seeing him on TV, he
dude.
looks fat as shit.
Oh, yeah.
That's depressing.
He enjoys his food, and he enjoys his drink, as we know, the Chuckster, as we'll find out a little more in this episode, too. There's a little bit of Barkley craziness in this also, and Cedric Sabalas is involved. There's all sorts of things going on.
Oh, I know that story.
Yeah. It's a story.
That story was 2 blocks down from the house I lived in.
It was North Phoenix. Yeah. It's
24th Street in Cinnabar. It was at Dan Marley's. No, Cedric's house.
Ced's house. Yeah. We'll discuss all this here. It's Oliver O.J. Jr. here. Okay. Born April 6th, 1970 in Fort Worth, Texas. So, outside of Dallas there, I guess, in that area. His mother, apparently, he ended up being he's an only child, and he ended up being raised by just his mom after a while here. They talk about the day that his mom left his dad, and he remembers it and all that type of shit. Yeah, because it was like, I guess they said that she was driving home from school with him in the car with little Oliver. Annie Miller's his mom, and they went to a stop sign where they turned left to go home, and instead they turned right. And Oliver was like 4, but he said that's not the way home.
4-year-old knows his way home.
Yeah, well, he knows the turns if you do the same thing every day. And so she had to explain that, that they're moving and that they don't live with his father anymore and all that type of shit, which we've all had. Well, we've had the discussion later of what's going on. Why are we not like the Keatons on TV? Right. What's happening? What's going? The Seavers are. Right. Alan Thicke is. Where's Alan Thicke? Is he here? Is my dad a shrink that's in a home office?
Holy shit!
So that's not the same. So he ends up being raised with her. She says that because Oliver recalls this in an interview, when he's 26, 27 years old,
right? And
she says that she's not surprised that would stick with him. She said, quote, bad experiences stick with him. And, she just said, that she had to leave, and that was that, and tried to explain it to him as best as possible. She said, quote, "I was at a point where I was trying to keep it together for the family, for my son, but the situation was not the best, so she had to leave," which is understandable. That's, I mean, good God, get out for what's best for you and for your kid if you get her in a bad situation. So Oliver's always a big kid. Yeah. I mean, he's going to grow up to be 6'9" and be 300 pounds in his not his heaviest, but his playing weight, his good playing weight.
20 years old.
He's the 280 to 300 pound range. Okay. A guy like that, it can fluctuate too, 10 pounds a day. Oh, I had a big meal last night. I'm 292 today.
I ate 2 buckets instead of 1.
That's what it is. Right? I went for 4 trips to the buffet, or I went, I had 8 double cheeseburgers, or whatever the fucking food item is. He's going to have a shitload of it. So you did make a chicken joke just now about a big fat black
Jesus.
guy. Yeah, you didn't mean it like that.
No, I did
When
not.
I just brought it up to you, your eyes went, "Oh no, I did just do that, didn't I?" So I had to point that out.
That is horrible.
So in case somebody else points that out,
I am a real monster.
Jimmy had no idea what he was doing there.
I just saw a big fat guy jamming a bucket of chicken
and
in
I'm
his
like,
face.
I'll make it better by saying other foods that he would eat a lot of. And I'm like, wait a second. No, we need to acknowledge this.
Jimmy doesn't even know what he just did.
Because I'm like, he has no idea. That wasn't a bad joke or anything like that. He just is in the mood for chicken.
Thinking of a man eating a lot. And that's a measurement of food. A bucket.
A bucket. Which, that's yeah. See what happens? When you get mad at a comedian for saying something on the fly, like, understand that it's on the fly and they're coming out with something.
I'm thinking of a measurement, not a racist thing.
Especially if it's a live show or a radio show or something, not a planned act that's written out like that, because you come up with a joke that you're like, oh, this hits this thing, and it's like, oh no, that went over there, and then you have to explain it out of that. And if they don't know you, our audience knows you, and they're like, oh, Jimmy, you fucking idiot.
It's like
they don't
throwing
care.
a misshapen ball against the wall and then seeing where it shoots to. That's what it is. It's it's throwing one of those like rubber balls that have all the edges on it, and then you stand there with your arms out trying to knock it down.
It's going to no way you're going to get it in either direction.
Went way the wrong way.
Oh shit! No, unless it comes right at me, it doesn't matter. So, that's fucking hilarious. That's hilarious. But in Jimmy's defense, I guarantee you, he has had many a bucket of food of any kind. Yeah. He just wants whatever he's got served to him in a bucket form. He's just like,
it could be peanut butter and jelly sandwiches.
Can I just get a bucket of them? Yeah. Just a bucket of peanut butter and jelly sandwiches? What do you fit in a bucket? Like 3 dozen? Put about 3 dozen in there for me. Like, that's what it looks like. He just, whatever food he wants, he orders it by the bucket full. He goes to McDonald's and they're like, we don't have a Big Mac bucket.
No.
Do we have a Big Mac bucket? No.
You say chicken nuggets bucket? We got a chicken bucket.
It's
a nugget. No, never mind.
No,
we don't have that anymore.
Sir, we don't carry buckets. I apologize. Do we have like a pail we clean things? He really wants a bucket. I don't know.
Just empty the mop water out.
He said he doesn't care. I don't fucking know.
Empty the mop water, fill the fryer-later with shit, and pour it in it.
He's out of his car. His face is in the window. He's got a handful of cash. I don't know. He's just saying, just take this and give me buckets of food. He doesn't even want a total. He doesn't want me to ring it up. He just said, just give me food and he'll give me all this money. I don't know. He seems really into it. Jesus Christ.
The idea of buckets of food is too much.
Anything.
It's so gross.
Bucket. I'd like a pudding, please. Yeah. You know how much. You know how I want that pudding. A complete bucket. So, Jesus Christ. So she, in high school here, as she tries to handle him, is what she says. Yeah. He says he was this class clown type in school and in high school. He says that he did a lot of stupid shit with his friends, illegal things and stuff like that as a teenager, but he says he was, quote, too smart to get caught. Which just means nobody saw him because they would have seen him from space stealing things or doing whatever he did. It's you don't commit crime if you're 6'9", 300 pounds. Everyone sees you. Yeah. He was the biggest fucking guy. Biggest fucking guy I've ever seen. Just the biggest guy I've ever seen. I don't know. He had a bucket under his arm,
stealing everything
with peanut butter and jelly sandwiches in it. It was crazy. The sketch in that would be a giant man, bucket of peanut butter and jelly. It's the oddest thing. Super
you
fucking
could
weird.
Smell him for miles.
Oh, you know it. She said she made him go to the New Rising Star Star Missionary Baptist Church every Sunday.
Oh, boy.
That sounds hardcore. Yeah. That sounds fire and brimstone right there. Holy shit.
That'll make you eat.
Yeah, I wonder if it's a sing-songy, though.
No, probably not.
No, that doesn't sound fun.
God, no.
Maybe not.
It's a lot of screaming.
Because they'll sing-song. That shit looks fun. Take the Jesus out of it. Like, that's just a good tune.
That's just catchy, babe.
The choirs always sing really well. This shit's good, man. Yeah. Like, if you put this about something else, and just pretend they're singing about weed or something.
And in a small town in Texas, you know everybody.
Yeah, they know. It's good shit, man. I'm telling you. That's what I want. I want like a full black church choir to follow me places.
Fuck yeah.
And repeat things I say.
Just sing what I'm doing.
Just sing. I want them to be like the guy from Cypress Hill who repeats half of what Be Real says. I want Send Dog. I want that guy but to be a full choir of people.
A whole bunch of Send Dogs.
Yeah, no, just a full choir, like 100 people, like a ridiculous amount of people, full purple robes, the whole deal.
He said extra cheese.
But like in a real, and then just stop. And have people be like,
and an organ and hallelujah.
Fuck is happening? Just, I'm going to make a video where I do that, where I acquire a full choir to do that with. I'll make a large donation to the church, and I don't know, but I think that would be fucking hilarious. Just everywhere I go,
unbelievable.
No, hold on. No. What do we have? 103? Yeah, 103. We're going to have 103.
So good.
So, he said he was too smart to get caught at shit. He said that some of his friends from that time, he would say later on, quote, are in jail or dead. If it wasn't for my mom, I'd be the same. So he said his mom broke his balls, took him to church. She said if she found out that he ever acted up in church, she'd make him sit in the front seat of the car on the way home so she could reach over and smack him periodically.
Oh, not even just once.
She put it and pop him one.
Yeah.
So, yeah, she would just, you son of a bitch, and I turned to pap, and then she would go on and pap, it's another one. Sounds like my grandmother would do that. She'd get herself worked up again and get angry again and hit you. Like, we already went over this. Stop talking about it.
The more you think about it, the less you can believe it, because you've said that over and over. I can't believe. That's when I know I'm getting hit.
And the more it hurts, the more you think about it.
The more you can't believe, the more it stings.
The more it stings,
Stop it.
Grandma. So, Jesus. My son of a bitch. So, his father, I don't know how much time he spent with his father, but his father was said to be a football coach of some kind. I don't know, had something to do with football, so Oliver grew up liking football. And if he's a few inches shorter, he is the prototypical offensive tackle. Yeah. If he was like 3-4 inches shorter, 6'5", 6'6", he would have been
the blind side.
Oh man, that's exactly what he would. Because I mean, he's got good feet.
Sure.
For a basketball player of his size, I mean, we were making jokes about him running down the floor, but he could fucking move.
He's playing basketball in the NBA. He's not that slow. He's just slow in comparison to Spud Webb.
Slow with Allen Iverson zipping up the court. But I mean, for a normal human being, he would fucking burn you. You know, he'd be faster than normal people. I mean, he's a good athlete. He really is. But when he was in the 6th grade, apparently, is when he got into some sort of basketball. He played some sort of basketball, and this was the kind of the point where he realized that he was good at basketball. He started getting like praise from the teachers and from people that he knew, and he was like, "Oh, this is this is
fascinating.
I like this.
Yeah, this feels good."
And he's big, and he keeps growing and getting bigger. So they're encouraging him to play basketball, and so he started getting into basketball more at that point and playing on teams and organized and everything like that. He goes to Southwest High School in Fort Worth. In Fort Worth area there, and he says he was hard to handle in high school, is the way he puts it too, because he liked to cut up, and he had friends that were assholes like we all did and shit like that. He could not play freshman basketball. This huge kid that they wanted to play ball, and he couldn't play because he failed English. Failed English. He says, quote, "I hate Romeo and Juliet," which is 9th grade English.
Nobody else likes it either.
No,
man.
And he wasn't having any of that shit. He was not having Romeo and Juliet, so he was not allowed to play freshman basketball because they already had the rule of if you fail a class, you can't play ball there. So he said that by the time he's a senior in high school, he's 6'9", 260 pounds.
My Christ.
He's a big fucking guy. And another thing about Oliver Miller, he's 6'9", but he has has the wingspan of someone who's 7'3".
Yeah.
That's the when you measure out his arms, his wingspan is a 7'3" person.
Right.
So he has the wingspan of just a huge center.
He has long arms,
bigger than Shaq type center. So it makes up for his 6'9", and you can play center because you
can reach higher.
You balance all that out, you're about 7 feet basically because your arm length is half of your game.
Sure.
Doesn't matter how tall you are, how high you can reach is the
how long can you make yourself?
How long can you make yourself? How high can you get in the air? So that's what he does. So he was good though. His coach called him coach James Wood, not James Woods, the crazy actor,
the worst actor.
James Wood
is a monster.
He's crazy, but he's a crazy guy.
I fucking hate that guy.
Yeah, well, he's a nutcase. Yeah, that's why he's
the Family Guy loves to make fun of him,
and they have him on to make fun of him, which is even better.
It's amazing.
It's so weird. Well, because they started having him on 15
long before
years
he went
ago,
crazy.
Before he was all whacked
real
out.
Crazy.
Before he was really like now. Yeah, now he's like
now he's a fucking lunatic.
Yeah, I don't know what the hell's going on with him.
I don't even know what to call that. He's just a crazy person.
Yeah, I don't even talk about the politics.
No,
it's other shit.
Why would you talk the way you talk?
Yeah, he's a crazy man.
And the hypocrisy is bananas.
Just sit back and say, I was in casino.
I am so lucky.
Yeah.
The amount of money I have is crazy.
Yeah, for what I am.
The talent that I possess, the amount of money I have is ridiculous.
It's off.
It's askew.
Yeah, slightly askew. So he ends up committing to colleges are interested in him. Major Division I schools are interested in him. He's a big, giant guy. And he ends up committing to the University of Arkansas.
Yes.
So he goes to Arkansas.
The Razorback.
He goes to Razorback to play for Nolan Richardson, coach there. He is in his freshman year. That's the team that had Lee Mayberry and Todd Day.
Yes.
Remember Todd Day from one of the editions of NBA Jam being
probably 92 because he was with the Bucks
on a terrible but he wasn't on. I don't think he was on the first NBA Jam on the Bucks though. I think he was on like the Super Nintendo version or something. It was like him and Brad Lohaus.
Oh geez, Blowhouse.
Yeah, Blowhouse. I'm going to call him. But Todd Day was in there. But Todd Day, Lee Mayberry, and Oliver Miller, kind of the second round draft talent team here. But for college, that's 3 NBA players, so they're pretty good. This year they go 25-7. They go to the tournament. They beat in the first round. They beat Loyola Marymount, 120-101, and then they lose to Louisville, 93-84. So this was when they were trying to make the Razorbacks a good program again. They were having some hard times, some troubles. Oliver this year, he played in 30 games, started 8, 20 minutes a game. This is a freshman too, so this is pretty amazing. But he's not a guy you have to sit down and go, you need to mature physically and put 20 pounds on to bump around with these seniors. Like that's not the way it worked with him. No. They put him out there and
just push him around.
Just swing your ass back and forth. Just hold your bucket under your arm and push. 7.7 points per game, 3.7 rebounds, 1.4 assists, and 2 blocks a game. Oliver's always a good blocker because he's got those long arms.
Right.
He's he fools you into thinking you can get a shot off, and then he puts these big tentacles up in the air and smacks the ball away. And you didn't get it off.
He's like that wacky car guy out front of a fucking car dealership.
That's what he is.
He's
a swinging armed, inflatable, wacky tube man. Yeah, he's just going back and forth. So 89-90, he's a sophomore. They go 30-5 this year and go to the tournament. This is when they make a long run, go all the way to the Final Four this year. They beat Princeton in the first round, which is just funny. Watch Oliver Miller playing Princeton. They beat Dayton in the second round. 86-84. That was a nail biter. They beat North Carolina, number 8 seed at the time, which they were a good team. 96-73. Number 10 Texas, they beat 88-85, and then they go to the Final Four against number 3 seed Duke, and Duke beats them 97-83 because Duke is Duke.
Right.
And that's what
but they went deep. That's amazing.
They went deep, though. This was a big deal and really upped the Razorbacks program's profile. Oliver, too, it ups his profile. He plays in 35 games, 13 games started, 21.6 minutes a game, 11.1 points a game, 6.3 rebounds, 1.4 assists, and 2.4 blocks. 2.5 blocks a game is nothing to sneeze at. That's not too shabby. That's a presence. That means that people now have to avoid you if they know that you're in the middle.
Right.
So it's
they're game prepping for you being there.
Yeah. Now it's not even a matter of how many blocks you get, but it's how many how many times people alter what they're doing because you're there, which is like
how many times you change a play or a shot.
Yeah, it's like a right fielder in baseball. It's not about how many assists he gets to another base. It's about people stopping short of taking that extra base because they know he'll gun them down. So it's hard. It's a non-measurable stat is what I'm getting at. So 90-91 season, he is a junior. They go 34-4. They are the number 1 seed in the Southeast in the tournament that year, which is amazing. They beat Georgia State. They won 17-76.
Jesus,
that's a beating.
That's embarrassing.
That's not even nice. That's just fucking.
Why did we even come? This is crazy.
Wow, that's a 40-point ass whooping.
In college,
it was 1 versus 16.
It's still,
but that's just embarrassing. Jesus Christ. They win 97-90 against ASU, so Arizona State. They win 93-70 against Alabama, and then lose to Kansas, 93-81. Kansas, a perennial powerhouse, so that's going to happen. He plays in 38 games, starts 35 games, so now he's in this thing. 24.5 minutes a game, 15.7 points a game, 7.7 rebounds, 2.7 assists, and 2.9 blocks.
It's going up.
3 blocks a game is that's heavy duty shit right there. That's nasty. July 1991, though, the college has some problems. The college team has some problems, I should say. There's some suspensions on the team. Basically, they had everybody on the team did something, and they had to like stagger suspensions
so they still could fucking court a team.
Yeah, even redshirt freshmen who weren't even playing got like accused of sexual assault, and they weren't around. And
good Lord.
Yeah, it was bad. They suspended Todd Day in July of 91, Elmer Martin, Roosevelt Wallace, and Darrell Hawkins. They were suspended through November from July. Day was given another month after being linked to allegations of cheating on a biology test.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
How silly is that? It's so funny when you hear about guys who are he's an All-American. He's going to the NBA. He does not need a biology test. He doesn't. He's not, unless he plans on being a doctor when he's done with the NBA. We should ask Todd, but most guys aren't.
How many NBA doctors are there?
Very few. Very few.
How many retire from the NBA and go right into doctoring?
I don't think he gave a shit about his biology test and cared more about the game against fucking,
he may be playing
Texas
doctor.
Arkansas.
You know what I mean?
Oh, he's playing doctor.
Oh, you betcha.
You know it. So, it's so silly. Like when they talk about like, the whole Reggie Bush thing when they were going after Reggie. He'd been in the NFL for 5 years, and they're going. And if I was him, I'd go. Who fucking cares? Yeah,
you want this Heisman? I don't fucking give a shit.
Take it.
It's all in the past, man.
I don't care.
Right.
Did I take money? Bet your fucking balls I did. Yeah, I don't care. What are you going to do? Suspend me? I don't fucking play for you anymore. I don't care. I'm in
Take
the
it out of Pete Carroll's ass. Oh, he's gone too. Who gives a shit?
Do you think the Saints care? They don't give a shit.
No,
they just need me to be ready on third down. That's it. They don't give a fuck what I did in college. All they care about is what I did on the field. Off the field, I'm a nice guy. So, yeah, it was a little bit silly.
I fuck a Kardashian.
Yeah, what do you not know this? So, I always find that ridiculous.
It's dumb.
These I get at the time they make a big deal out of it because they're in school.
Yeah, if you catch them then, it can be a thing, but it shouldn't be.
It's so stupid. And when they give them money, it's like, people take money, people give money. It goes on and on and on and on. I don't know. Maybe dig into your fucking dirty pockets and pay them rather than giving the coaches fucking $9 million a year. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I don't know. You could take 1 million of that and give all the kids on the team a stipend.
Yeah.
Or you can give Nick Saban $12 million.
Make that guy a household name for what?
And then have all those coaches go, I just wouldn't think it's a good idea to pay the players because they all have the balls, the fucking sack to sit up there with a straight face and say it's not a good idea to pay the players.
That seems like a conflict.
You live in a palatial mansion. Are you out of your fucking mind? This kid's trying to get Del Taco money. Right. You fucking own a Rolls Royce, you piece of shit, greedy cocksuckers.
They're trying to buy Del Taco from the Del Taco franchises that you own, you piece of shit.
That's what I mean. Throw a couple of it's bullshit. Yeah. Those coaches, their salaries, most of the time, they're the highest paid state employee, so that's a taxpayer thing, and I get it's coming back with the football revenue and all that, but you're paying them all that, and then you're going, God, the kids would want to, we couldn't possibly give them $200 a month for fucking expenses and shit. That would lead to what? Would lead
them to what? Try harder and maybe try to earn more money?
Yeah, or it would lead to what? Less corruption is what it would lead to. I see that happening probably.
Lead to the school probably getting less money from the donors because it's going to the players?
Shit, either way, if the team's good, that's all they want. They don't give a flying fuck. They don't care. That's what I don't understand. I just don't understand how they can with a straight face do that shit while they collect these salaries they collect, because they're obscene.
Yeah.
They're fucking obscene.
It's gross.
Their big argument is, well, I mean, yeah, Alabama and some of these big schools, they could afford it, but what about the small school that can't afford? About Akron State when they play them, blah, blah, blah. You know what? You're gonna have to fucking subsidize Akron State because without beating the shit out of Akron State 56-3, nobody thinks you're that great and you don't make $12 million fucking dollars. That's the point. You're all in a fucking league together, stupid. It doesn't make fucking sense.
No.
It makes no fucking sense. Every other league has figured out, oh, guess what? All the teams are kind of tied together, and we should probably approach this in a smart way.
We should all share some revenue.
Yeah, share. And, college is like, you know what? Every man for themselves.
Fuck Dayton.
Fuck Dayton. Fuck the... I don't know why we're picking on Ohio. Akron State. Fuck the players. They can... Yeah, no, it can be Wild West. Do it all under the counter, and then, we'll all pretend like we're shocked and horrified when a kid took $500. The fuck out of here. So,
borrowed a rental car to visit his family for Thanksgiving.
That's what I mean. Or to fucking take his girlfriend out. Who cares? It's the fucking kid works his balls off making the university money and profile, and you're going, well, we gave him an education. Oh, what does that seat cost you? What does that seat in that classroom cost you?
Nothing.
Not what the fuck he's bringing into you. It's not the same, or she, or anybody else, whatever the fucking sport is. It doesn't matter. I'm just, it's just bullshit. That drives me crazy. They got an education. Yeah, they wanted to study biology at the University of Arkansas. I'm sure that's Todd Day's dream since he was a young child.
Fucking cheated because
Jesus
he didn't give a shit
Christ.
about it.
Sat there going, if only I could go to the University of Arkansas to study biology, all my dreams would come true as a 6'7" fucking man who's been doing nothing but playing basketball my whole fucking life. Assholes. So anyway, Oliver Miller also gets suspended for either 2 or 3 games for damaging another student's car. That wasn't
he sat down.
Ollie want to ride? He's like, shit. So it tipped over like Fred Flintstone with the ribs. Damn it. He was suspended for the first 2 games of the season. He apparently didn't just damage his car. He got into a fight with another student on campus and then damaged his car after he, I'm sure, pummeled him. Yeah. The student apparently called him a rapist. For some reason, someone had made an accusation, or who knows, called him a rapist, and then Oliver said that this man referred to him using a racial epithet. So he shouted the N-word or some shit and called him a rapist, and Ollie wasn't having any of that. So he tipped his car over like the Hulk, I feel like, because he's enormous.
He ate the fender.
Put it in his bucket and left. I've been looking for a snack. Yeah. I like fiberglass. He just sticks it right in there. So this apparently a lot of these suspensions, there was a big this is ridiculous, a big uncovering at the school of this huge scandal where all of the athletic programs, so many people got in trouble, and it was a huge scandal because guess what the scandal was?
Point shaving.
No, nothing illegal like that.
Shit.
It's got to be terrible, right? Yeah. It sounds, all these players are 20 scholarship athletes suspended, all these people suspended. You know what it was? It was for misuse of the athletic department's long distance telephone.
Get the fuck out of here. They're calling home.
They records show that 20 current scholarship athletes made private calls, totaling about $2,200. No. 22
about $100 a person.
Gee, what's Nolan Richardson make a year? Let's fucking take it out of his fucking salary. I bet he can afford it. They said some non-athletes probably misused the service too, but they lumped it in with the athletes anyway. They were suspended from school in May after the spring and all the way until November because they made phone calls.
Boy, oh boy.
Because they called their fucking girlfriend or their brother or their mother.
What a detriment to society.
How dare we need to this is the thing.
You got to clean it up.
This is why this show's important. Yeah. People like this, we need to get them off the streets right away. How fucking dare you pick up a telephone and call your mother? How dare you?
Could you?
At a wealthy school who's making a ton of money and giving you nothing. How dare you think that you have the right to speak on their telephone?
Also, how about that long distance cost money at one point in
That's
time.
the other thing.
Bananas?
That's for $2,200 worth.
Nuts.
That's insane. Jesus Christ. I bet Nolan Richardson could call his fucking mail-order bride in China. I don't know if he has one, but if he did, he could call one, cultivate a relationship with her, order her, have her sent to the school in a big box like the leg in A Christmas Story, like the fucking lamp, pry it open with a crowbar, and then give the guy a fucking award, I'm sure, and give him $1 million a year raise.
A ladyboy from Thailand.
Fine. No problem. Good job, Coach. We went to the Final Four 2 years ago. Don't fucking rock the boat. It's fine.
That one really does look
Jesus
like a girl, Coach.
Christ. It's a pretty good job, Coach. Nice one, Coach. That's what would happen. But God forbid if a student makes a phone call, we got to go crazy on these fucking bull. It's so funny how hard we are on pro athletes. Like, I don't mean society. I mean me and you. We are hard as shit on the pro athletes because we're like, hey, dummy, you have money and you don't have to do that, stupid.
Right. You've made it.
You made it. You protect it now. Don't be an idiot. Whereas these college kids, we stick up for them left and right.
So much on their side.
Because the fuck, they're going there. Yeah, they're being used. So yeah, I'm on their side a lot. Sorry.
But also that environment creates them to be complete fuckheads later because they're encouraging them by discouraging. They're encouraging them to go behind people's back and be fucking, I don't know, fraudulent? Is that the word?
There's a policy. You can act however the fuck you want. You can be an asshole. You can be an arrogant twat. You can be a dick to everyone on campus. But as long as we don't find out that you're getting paid by anybody, as long as we all just pretend like this arrangement's okay, we won't discipline you or treat you like a...
You keep playing.
But it's because you can't... What are you going to say to them? Or else? All right, well, what else? Or else what? If they're not a big star, and they don't care about they're just there to play basketball or whatever sport, they don't give a shit. In the NBA, when you threaten somebody, that's their income.
That's the livelihood.
You're threatening them. It's a different story.
You're gonna take away everything.
You're violating these clauses of your contract. That means costs you this much money, and they start going, I get a check every 2 weeks for that much. If I got it for zero, my life would be a lot different.
It'll hurt.
It's different. So 91-92, he's a senior. They go 26-8 that year. So with all the turmoil of all the phone calls, Jimmie, I mean, God, ruin the season. Why don't you? Hey, everybody, just going to take a quick break from the show to tell you about one of our favorite sponsors, Harry's.
Oh, Harry's.com.
Harry's is the best. They really are. Because you buy these razors, you buy these disposable razors. They are so expensive, so overpriced. They're fancy, a bunch of silly stuff on there that you don't need. It's really pointless to do all this. Harry's knows this. And this is the thing. Harry's will make it better for you. Make it better. You got to join the 10 million people who've tried Harry's and claim your special offer by going to harrys.com/crimeinsports. Harry's delivers high quality, travel friendly shave supplies at a great low price. Just $2 a blade. That's the thing. Guys buy these razors to travel with, and then they're like, well, I'm just traveling with it, so I'll buy a cheap one, and then they have a lousy razor. You can buy...
Then you look like heck on your vacation.
You can buy an inexpensive razor that's better than the expensive razors with Harry's. That's the thing now. High quality stuff here. To keep prices low, they cut out the middleman by purchasing a world-class blade factory in Germany, and now they can provide great quality at factory direct prices. Harry's is great. Everybody, we all use it. You were telling me your ingrown hair problem on your neck is solved.
Almost gone.
Sarah uses the Harry's, so it's great for women too, for whatever you need to shave there. My daughter uses Harry's. We all use it. It's phenomenal. Can't say enough nice things about Harry's. This summer, refresh your wallet and your face with a Harry's trial set. It comes with a weighted ergonomic handle for easy grip, 5-blade razor with lubricating strip and trimmer blade for a close shave, rich lathering shave gel that will leave you smelling great, and a travel blade cover to keep your razor dry and easy on the go. Listeners of our show can redeem this trial set at harrys.com/crimeinsports. Make sure you go to harrys.com/crimeinsports to redeem your offer and let them know that we sent you to help support the show.
And now back to that show.
You can hear ad-free new episodes of Crime and Sports only on Stitcher Premium. For a free month of Stitcher Premium, go to StitcherPremium.com and use the promo code SPORTS.
But it'll take your mind off the game a little bit.
That's what happens when you're making long-distance phone calls. I'm sure it was the phone was to blame here. Phone calls from a year ago were probably the culprit. So they win in the first round, 80-69 against Murray State. Oh. So that's a powerhouse.
And a bunch of dudes named Murray.
It's a lot of guys named Murray. That's it. How you doing, Murray? Murray Troublehorn, nice to meet you.
Starting at point guard, Murray.
It's just Murray. How you doing? I'm Murray. Nice to meet you. They come up and shake hands. How you doing?
There's no high fives.
I'm Murray. Good to meet you. And they introduce themselves to the other team.
After every point scored, they shake each other's hands.
They go over to the timekeeper. How you doing? Yeah, they shake each other's hands. Good job, Murray. Hey, thanks a lot, pal.
Great shot,
That's
Mark.
what they do. That's a pretty good shot there, buddy. All right.
A bunch of guys named Murray.
It's an under 6'2" team, too. You can't be over 6'2". It's a exclusive team of short Murrays. It's very difficult to get on that team. They play Memphis in the second round, and they lose 82-80 and get bounced out of the tournament.
Memphis State? Or
Memphis. Straight okay. Memphis. Okay. I think that's where Penny Hardaway played.
Memphis State.
No, Memphis. Yeah. He played Memphis State?
Yep.
Okay. I knew it was one of the Memphis.
I only know that because I have the card that's the rookie card the typo, and it says Memphic State.
Oh, Jesus, that's right. But yeah, this is just straight
nothing.
Regular. Well, yeah, nobody cares about it anymore.
No.
Sorry.
When I got that card, I was like, yo, he's on commercial. This card's going to be worth all kinds of money.
Put this away for college.
People don't even know who the fuck he is now today. Like, I have his shoes, and people are like, what are those shoes?
The guy with the Chris Rock voice?
These shoes were amazing when I was 18.
Nothing. You know nothing.
He was going to be the best.
It looked like it.
Yeah.
Tall point guard, could move, could shoot.
Fairly handsome.
Fucking Magic Johnson, part two there. And,
caramel skin, just a handsome son bitch.
Not quite Magic Johnson. No. We'll just say that.
Whoops the daisy. And he got hurt. Bad knees,
he was
right?
always hurt.
Yeah.
He was always hurt. He was banged up
knees.
a lot. Bad everything. Yeah. He was fucked up a lot.
Poor body.
Which he was great. His numbers were nasty his first couple of years, but then it's
whoops the daisy.
Too injured. Skinny frame. It was the shoes. Yeah, Jimmy, take those off right now. What's wrong with you? So Oliver this year, 34 games, 30 started, 28.1 minutes per game. So now they got him playing 13.5 points per game, 7.7 rebounds, same as last year exactly, 3 assists and 2.6 blocks. So really consistent, looking like a good, big, wide body guy you can stick in a lane somewhere to play defense for you in the NBA. He is the conference co-player of the year, and he's first team in the conference, deal, first team SWC, and so he's ready for something. Yeah. And the NBA draft comes around here, and that this year is obviously an interesting fucking year.
What year?
92.
Yeah. Oh, that's a good one.
You know who was number one that year?
Was it Iverson?
It is Shaq.
Oh, it was Shaq then?
Shaq, yeah.
Was Iverson in 94? 97, huh?
No, not that late.
How late was he?
I think he was
96?
3? Was he the next year or 94?
I don't know.
I don't remember now.
So it went Shaq. Was Larry Johnson in this one too?
Shaq, well, number 2 is Alonzo Mourning from Georgetown. Yeah. So you get right away, you're getting
huge, great centers.
Centers are at a premium this year, and right away the 2 big centers are taken off, and then Christian Laettner, number 3, was on the Dream Team.
You're looking for big guys right away.
Absolute Jim Jackson from Ohio State. Remember him from Dallas, and he kicked around the league forever. LaFonso Ellis from Denver after that. This is Tom Gugliotta, number 6. This is just the 90s right here.
An unfortunate guy.
In a nutshell. Tom Gugliotta, he's a goofy motherfucker.
He made a shitload of money to do nothing.
He did. He really did. He made a ton of money.
Oh, boy.
Well, for a while, he was averaging like 27 points a game when he was on the Bullets, and then he got to the Suns. And he was good for a year, and then he had a knee problem, and then he was terrible for the rest of his career.
And he made the most money at the end when he was doing nothing.
Oh, no, he was making a fortion doing shit.
Doing absolutely nothing.
Todd Day, number 8.
Okay, to the Mavericks or the Bucks?
To the Bucks.
Yeah.
So that's his teammate there, so that's pretty exciting if your teammate goes here. Clarence Weatherspoon in this draft. Jesus Christ. Adam Keefe, Robert Horry went to Houston. Harold Miner, Baby Jordan as they called him at the time, and that didn't quite work out.
No, it didn't.
Not quite here. So finally here, as we go through, I'm just having a fun time going through the entire draft.
That's a great group of names.
Yeah, Doug Christie. Remember him?
Yeah.
Like a reality show where his wife was breaking his balls all the time.
Nuts.
Yeah. Tracy Murray, who did not go to Murray State because he was too tall. He went number 18. Sorry, you can't come here, but I'm better than anyone on the team. It doesn't matter, Murray. It doesn't matter.
Tracy Murray, did he go to Houston?
Tracy Murray. I got to go back to Tracy Murray. Where the
I think
hell
it was
he?
Houston.
Tracy Murray, where the fuck
or
is
Indiana.
he? He goes to Spurs.
Oh,
that's right.
Jesus.
San Antonio Spurs.
Okay.
Yeah. Fuck, I love these old drafts. This is
so much fun.
They're so much fun. Finally, number 22 overall is Phoenix, and they select Oliver Miller, number 22 overall. Yeah, because the teams that wanted centers got their centers early, and they got, quite frankly, much better centers.
Yeah, they did.
than Oliver
Miller.
But
he played here for a while before he left.
Not really.
No,
we'll talk about here.
6.
And his teammate here, Lee Mayberry, went number 23
to the Mavericks,
to Milwaukee.
So
they got Day and Mayberry. We want Arkansas's backcourt. We don't give a fuck. We just need both of them. We really like the way Arkansas brought the ball up the court. So we're going to do it. Latrell Sprewell, number 24.
Is that right?
We've talked about many times.
To the Warriors.
To the Warriors. Yeah. So number 24, Sprewell. What a fucking fun draft. Yeah. Okay, I won't talk about it anymore. 92-93.
That's the best time to watch the NBA because
it was great.
The Jam magazine was great.
It was awesome.
Inside the NBA was on TV. It was fantastic with Ahmad Rashad.
It was really a golden time.
Yeah, there was so much basketball right in your face, and it was all fun because there were characters and they were allowed to be themselves.
It was like the late 50s for baseball.
Right.
Like all the black guys started playing.
Right.
So you had Willie Mays and all those guys. So it was like all the best players
and
were
you
in
let
there.
the personality shine.
Pre-expansion, so the teams were loaded with talent. Every team had just fucking talent down the roster.
Absolutely.
This is kind of how this was. There was still expansion, but this was pre the Grizzlies Raptors expansion. And there was something about these games. They were just
the NBA
personalities.
Right, that's what it is. The NBA needs personality so much now that Kawhi Leonard is a fucking personality and he's a drip.
Well, his personality is that he has no personality.
Right.
That's
and people are
is.
like, oh, I can't get enough of
Isn't
how
it
boring
great?
he is.
Look at him. He's like wallpaper.
Look
Isn't
at
this
how
terrific?
weird he is. He has nothing.
Nothing. No, he has nothing over.
Great basketball
He's
player.
amazing.
Unbelievable. Fucking boring.
He's boring as balls.
Boring as fuck. He's Steph Curry without a smile.
Dude, Steph Curry bores the shit out of me.
Oh my God.
Name a star right now and I'll tell you they bore the balls off of me. LeBron James is fucking boring.
Unbelievably gifted comedic
Great
actor.
Guy. Oh, boring as fuck as a human being.
Yes.
And I get that he's trying to be straightforward, but Michael Jordan was boring also, but he was boring in like a sly dicky way.
Yeah.
Like he had a personality. It was, I am buttoned up.
Yeah.
I say my shit right, but I'm going to say it with a twinge that lets you know that I think you're an asshole.
Right.
That was his personality.
And that I'm better than you.
Yes.
In every aspect of this game.
LeBron acts like he's like a CEO giving answers at like a fucking, at some kind of board meeting when he's doing a press conference.
And he acts like he's better than everybody,
boring.
But then he's constantly getting bested on the court.
Yeah.
He's getting fucking
now
swatted.
He's getting older.
Right. But I mean, it's been like that since he started.
Well, everybody.
Jordan, it was rare. It was so rare.
People owned him sometimes.
Yeah, but it was so rare.
Yeah. I'm not going to say Jordan's better than LeBron. I'll say
he's better than everybody.
He's better than everybody just because he's
Michael fucking Jordan.
Unless he's ever was beaten, it's hard to say that, you know what I mean? Yeah. Like when he goes to a final, he's fucking winning the final. That's it.
But he had
it's going to happen.
Great teammates.
Yes, so did everybody else in the finals.
Fuck up.
So did everyone else in the finals. That's the thing. When they played Utah, Stockton and Malone are both Hall of Famers.
Yes,
they were on the same team together, and they were
lost amazing together.
Jordan and Pippen.
And they always lost.
Yeah, because Jordan and Pippen were better. That's it. It's just the way it is. And I fucking hate the Bulls.
Yeah.
And in the 90s, I hated Michael Jordan.
Yeah.
Fucking hated him.
I never wore his jersey. I never wore his shoes.
Knicks and Suns. So he'd kill us in the fucking playoffs, then went in the fucking finals and beat the Suns. So I hated his fucking guts. So this is not coming from anything.
I liked the Hornets, man.
I hated him because he was so great.
Good.
That's why I hated Joe Montana for the same reason. It was the same thing. I was like, you prick son of a bitch.
It's how sports are supposed to be.
Yes, that's the thing.
And you're supposed to have a villain. That's what he was.
Yes.
He was better.
Or he was the, however you want to take it.
Depending on how you look at him.
Depending on who you are.
Right.
Well, yeah, Barkley had personality.
Right.
He was all personality. These guys had Dennis Rodman in the 90s, for Christ's sake. You were allowed to have more personality. Now they're getting
And you could be the clean-cut guy that is like the hero, like Isaiah Thomas.
You could be AC.
Still a fucking nightmare.
Yeah, you could be. Yeah, exactly. That's the thing. Yeah, you could be AC Green.
Yes.
Who's a virgin and a square and a drip, but on
and
the court,
pastor, but he's an asshole.
On the court, he was a ball breaker.
Yeah.
He'd be up in people's shit, stepping on
throwing
their feet.
elbows.
I saw this interview with him where he was saying how basically he would enrage Kareem Abdul-Jabbar to the point where he was going to kill him, and then he'd switch off and tell someone else to guard him because he's going to start throwing elbows soon because he'd step on his heels and fucking throw elbows in his ribs. And they asked him, how can you tell when Kareem was pissed off? He says his goggles would fog up.
He got that mad.
It's that's amazing.
I guarantee you AC Green lost his teeth that night because he pissed somebody off.
J.R. Reed.
Because he's a fucking monster.
That's what he said.
That's what they are.
Well, when they interviewed him about it, he goes, oh no, I'm all up in people's business. He goes, I'm not mad at him for doing that. He goes, I throw elbows. People throw elbows all the time.
That's what you do.
Part of the game. He goes, I got under his skin apparently. It works. Picked his teeth up and he played the next day. He did.
It's personality. That's what you're supposed to have. And now they just want
Magic
you to be
Johnson?
Right.
Holy shit.
Fuck.
That guy is a beaming sunshine of personality. His personality is amazing. There's nobody, you couldn't get 5 teams together that have the personality that Magic Johnson himself had now.
So much personality, he got AIDS from it.
He attracted it from the universe. He attracts everything. Right. Money, people, glory, winning, AIDS. Things just come to him. Pretty amazing. So 90
and cures for it, apparently.
And cures for it, yeah. 92-93 is Phoenix, and this is a magical year for Phoenix. And this was when I moved.
Okay.
I moved back to New York because my mom came here for a year. I was here for a year. I moved back to New York, but was very much into the Suns because I had seen the beginning of the season here and went for Christmas back here and all that type of shit. So very much into the Suns. What a fucking fun run. This is
crazy.
The first year with Charles Barkley when he came over. And Phoenix back then, Phoenix now is still a desert shithole wasteland stopover. I get that. But in 92, it was way more of a shithole, nowhere desert stopover. Yeah. There wasn't a baseball team here.
There was 6 buildings downtown they called downtown.
There was that. There was, I think, probably a quarter of the population we have now in the city then. So it was just a completely different place. Completely different. And the Suns were, the Cardinals had been here for 2 years and nobody gave a shit about them. The Diamondbacks weren't a team yet. The hockey team hadn't been here. So the Suns were the Valley's thing. They were the thing that started here.
They polarized the town into actually having some pride of being here.
It was true.
Because nobody has any pride to be here because they're all from somewhere fucking else.
When my mom first moved here, I remember seeing buildings painted with Suns shit, with Suns logos and cars painted with Suns. I was like, what the fuck is happening? This is awesome. I thought it was cool as a kid, 14, 13 years old. I was like, this is really cool.
Absolutely.
Everybody's super into this shit. And then, so when Barkley came here, it was like he was a star from out there that was coming here, not a homegrown star. Someone chose to come here.
It's crazy.
Crazy. So it was the biggest thing in the fucking world. And that was right after the 92 Olympics. When I saw the first game here that they played, that Barkley was here and Oliver Miller was in that game. Before they introduced Barkley, they did a big light show with the Olympic rings, and it was like a 5-minute production to introduce Charles Barkley. Shit. Oh my God, it was crazy. And people were going nuts and throwing their kids on the court from the upper deck. They just couldn't control themselves. Take my baby. Just throw it down. It was fucking nuts, dude.
Bedlam.
It was crazy, but this was a wild season. They were great this season, and just such a fun run through the playoffs and then all the way to those finals with that heartbreaking little cocksucker Paxton and fucking bastards. I still remember that.
There's no T, right? It's just Paxton?
It's Paxton, I think.
Isn't it just Paxson?
It might be Paxton.
You're thinking of Bill.
I'm thinking of Bill Paxton. Yeah, it's Paxton. It's John, and he's got 2 other brothers, too, that fucking, they were all, they used to have those stupid commercials where they would shave in the 80s. I'm like, who the fuck are these guys? Fuck them.
Goddamn Bill.
I'm not impressed with your shaver. But Paxton, that little prick. That was
what a shot too, though. It was. He still had to make it.
Great
you got to give him that, right?
Celebrating my birthday with
wide
my
open
friends.
shot, you motherfucker.
Thanks.
Whatever you do, don't give him a wide open three.
Just don't leave him out there. They said leave Horace Grant for a layup. Yeah. We'll go to OT. Just no 3-pointers. And we said, no, we're going to cover Horace. And just let him shoot. Bastards.
Give him a chance.
That was a mess. So, yeah, bad times. The Suns end up losing to the Bulls in 6 games that year. And this is, I believe, the second of the Bulls titles.
Yes.
And number 2, I think, this year.
The three-peat came against Utah.
That was after... No, that was later. Because he left then. The next year, he left. And then came back in, 95, 96, came back.
So the three-peat
would have won in 96, and they won in 97.
Oh, it was then? He came back after retirement and got 3?
I think it was 3. Or this might have been the third, because the next year was Houston back-to-back, so he was out after that. So this was either 2 or 3.
Okay.
I don't remember exactly.
Right. I think it was 2.
I think it was 2 also, because then he would have 96, 7, and 8. Yep. That's 3.
Yep.
Is that so? Did they have 5 or 6? 6, right?
Yeah.
I thought they had 6, so this would have to be 3.
Jesus.
Apparently.
Fuck, man.
Jesus Christ. So they had won. Yeah, was it?
No wonder I hated that guy.
Yeah, they always won. Little bastard. I'm a Knicks and Suns fan. I don't know what that is, winning. What is that? We will never win NBA championships, either team, ever. And every year we get worse.
If I would have taken that into account when the Cubs won, I wouldn't have been happy for them even at all. Why? You guys have enough.
You've had the Bulls. Go away.
Stop, you greedy fucks.
Yeah, Jesus Christ.
God damn, your Blackhawks win. Your fucking White Sox win. Your Cubs.
They won once.
Go away. The Bears won.
In 85.
The Bears had a great one.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
Well, yeah, it hasn't happened in a long time.
Good.
It's been a while.
You don't deserve one yet.
It's been a while.
For that win, you have to take heartbreak.
You had a song and everything.
Yeah,
you have to wait a while since you had a song.
Heartbreak for a long time.
This team, this was hard. And it's just never going to happen. The Suns and Knicks, they get worse every year.
Yeah.
It feels like if you randomly made moves, they would be at least as successful.
Who owns the Knicks now?
The Dolan. Oh, don't get me started on these fucking Dolans.
Because that's what it is. It's the owners of these teams that do this shit.
Yeah, because the Suns weren't like this when the Colangelos owned them. They were different. They would not have a bad team. Colangelos made sure there was a good team.
Colangelos is a successful man. He's a business guy.
Dolan is a twat, and they own MSG, the MSG network. They own too much. They own fucking too much, and the problem is the Knicks are the most valuable franchise in the NBA. Do you know that?
No.
Because they haven't won a fucking thing ever. That's why you'd find that really weird, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
You'd go, what's the most valuable franchise? I don't know, the Lakers probably.
Yeah, probably.
Nope. Fucking Knicks.
Spurs.
They never win.
Wow.
That's what why? Because you're in a giant basketball frenzied market.
Right.
You're in a fucking huge market with a bunch of people crammed in there. You can't fuck that up. You could do the
thirst for entertainment.
That's
and the
thing.
Knicks, it's a big deal to be on the sidelines at a game.
Absolutely. MSG is 20,000 people. It's a very small arena.
Right.
It's not like Giant Stadium or Yankee Stadium.
Right.
It's 20,000 people. If everybody wants to see a game, or if there's, it's fucking crazy.
Yeah.
You will be wealthy no matter how poorly you manage that team. And trust me, they've been trying to do it as bad as possible for fucking ever. Drives me crazy.
And that's really shocking too, based on that great team that they had for 6 years.
Oh,
it was such a good team.
Yes,
they were always competitive.
It was a different era.
Granted, they had to play against the Bulls every year,
they had to play against the Bulls, and they had so many good teams.
And the Pacers,
with Reggie Miller, and the Heat came on later on with Mourning and all those guys. It was there were so many tough teams to go through.
And the Hornets were fun to play too. I mean,
they were fun to play against
too. That was a tough team.
It was. Now Oliver Miller actually contributes to this team too as a rookie. He plays in 56 games, only starts 1, but he's a rookie. 19.1 minutes per game, playing under half the game. 5.6 points a game, 4.9 rebounds, 2.1 assists, 1.8 blocks.
He's good.
He's a backup center. What do you want? And in the playoffs, he averages 7.2 points per game and plays in 24 playoff games. So they believed a lot of times in the playoffs, your rotation gets smaller.
Yeah.
You're not bringing in all 10 guys anymore. You have 7 guys and the other 3 are there in case somebody gets hurt.
Right.
This is the playoffs. Fuck that.
Yeah.
So he was included in that as their main rotation, which is good. He makes $517,000 this year.
That's not bad.
Would you look at that? Yeah. No, for a rookie season, grace.
Wow.
Let's say grace on Ollie right here. Right now, everything's been fine.
Yeah.
He's been a happy guy. He's a rookie doing well. Nobody's accused him of anything bad. Nothing bad has happened to him.
Nothing's going on.
Nothing's going on. So grace. We'll grace that right there. So 93-94, back with the Suns again. And January 2nd, the week of January 2nd, 1994, he is the NBA Player of the Week.
Really?
Terrific. Yeah, look at that. He's also very, very fat. And... getting
fatter.
Yeah. You could watch him gain weight. Yeah. It's remarkable. Yeah. It's wow.
It's those buckets. The bucket
market. The buckets. It's
the bucket market in Phoenix is booming at this time.
They're like, well, what happened?
Yeah.
Every fast food chain's going, our profits are up 45% this quarter. Would you look at this? It's incredible. It's the greatest thing ever. And he is up 45% as well in weight. We're going to talk about it, but he at one point gets to damn near 400 pounds.
Wow.
Yeah, like King Kong Bundy level fat.
While playing?
Yeah, when he was to the point where he couldn't even fucking move. It was ridiculous to watch him.
Was that food or was that booze?
It's food.
Really?
It's food. But he can't stop fucking eating.
That's incredible.
That's why the bucket thing and all that, it's really very apt with him because he is not a guy that's like, will diet and still get heavy. We'll talk about it, but Charles Barkley has a quote about him. It's just talking about he's just would have been a great player if wasn't so fucking fat.
Yeah.
It's just all it is.
From a fat guy.
Coming from because Barkley knows. He's I got to control that shit too. Mm-hmm. He's like, I kept it to a point where it didn't affect my athleticism. Yeah. Like Ali got to a point where if he got going too fast, it looked like he was going to fall over and then be stuck there on his stomach. It got bad. He says he even noticed it. He says, quote, I got tired of seeing myself in the mirror and seeing slop, which is a good way to put it. He said, when I was playing, everyone was making it a big issue, always making me weigh in every single day, saying you can't eat that. Why are you eating that? And then he says he would take a bunch of shit from players on the floor because shit talking is alive and well, especially in the 90s. This is the
and this was a time when guys like really cared about their physique, where they started to care about when you had like David Robinson. He looked fucking amazing.
This is when let's just call it what it is. This is when NBA players started using steroids too and getting jacked up.
Right.
Yeah, Karl Malone. That's all natural.
Right.
He was just a naturally.
Larry Johnson looked like that because he woke up and
all natural. Yeah. No, this is when they went, hey, we can take HGH and we'll look great.
We'll look amazing.
Yeah, that always cracked me up because it doesn't matter. It's not a physical sport, so nobody cares. It's like, well, you're not going to hurt anybody. Like in football, it's like, well, that's not fair. You're going to take his head off. In basketball, it's like, well, I don't know.
Oh, he's just running.
And maybe it makes him have wind. I don't know. So, I don't know. We don't give a shit, which I don't understand. In baseball, God forbid, the numbers are sacred. And basketball, we're like, who cares? He's fucking dunking better.
Only number that's sacred to me is dollar figures, bitch.
That's it.
Make them bigger.
That is it. So, he says he took shit from the opposing team. They'd be like, hey, Big O, you want a cheeseburger?
Yeah,
shit like that. They'd be like, hey, fat fuck. Yeah. He called himself the Big O, which... By the way, that's Oscar Robertson, who is...
It's also the orgasm.
But it was Oscar Robertson first, I think. In the 60s, he was the Big O. And he's one of the greatest top 10 players in the history of the fucking league, averaged a triple-double for a season.
Crazy.
He's amazing. Yeah. You're not the Big O.
No.
You're the Fat O.
Also,
we'll call you that. The Round O.
And at this point in your life, Big O is a tire company, motherfucker.
Yeah, that's the other thing.
You can't do that.
Which it shouldn't be either.
No, it shouldn't.
No.
But you don't want to be taking the same name as a tire company.
No,
that's just terrible.
It is fucking terrible. He said it got so bad that later on, when he's playing for Sacramento, they play in Phoenix, and even the Suns gorilla, the mascot, was abusing him.
Oh no!
There's a video from this where the Suns gorilla is wearing like a fat suit and an Oliver Miller jersey.
Damn it.
He's wearing a fat suit and an Oliver Miller jersey.
Oh,
it's
Jesus.
Pretty fucked up, dude.
That's brutal.
Not cool, man.
As if a gorilla as a team mascot isn't fucking horrible enough.
Yeah. They're going to make him fucking make fun of opposing players' physiques now, too. He said, Miller, this hurt his feelings, he said.
I'm sure it did.
He said, quote, I was friends with him. That's what
I knew that motherfucker.
I fucking knew that gorilla, man. What the fuck? I got him laid.
Outside the suit, that little motherfucker's cool.
Bitch ass. Man, I'm gonna fucking smack him in the mouth when I see him next. Take his bucket away.
You guys can call him the gorilla. That's George. Yeah. George, get your ass over here.
He got a bucket, right? Everybody carries a food bucket with him, right? People just carry that shit.
A fat suit.
He just sees you. He's like, hey, what's up, man? Where's your bucket? You're like, bucket of what? I don't know, whatever, man. Peanut butter, jellies, or cheeseburgers, or, what you gonna be eating today?
What would that have been if the gorilla in a fat suit is sitting there eating a bucket of PB&J?
A bucket of anything. So Ollie says, quote, I was friends with him. He said, I understand it's a business, but the thing that bothered me was my kids were at the game. They were hurt more than I was. That's terrible.
God damn it.
To have a fucking... To have a gymnast in a monkey suit mocking your father with fat jokes is not okay. I'm sorry.
Fat shamed in front of his kids.
By a gymnast in a fucking gorilla outfit.
Before fat shaming is a thing.
Oh, yeah. Oh, by the way, don't say a word about this. Guys can fat shame guys. Yeah. We don't care. Yeah. And if you do, we'll go, shut up, fatso. Lose some fucking weight, you fat fuck. It's different. It's different. It's not a psychological thing like women have it. It's a totally different thing. So, yes, we don't make fun of fat women usually. So, is it a double standard? Yes, it is. And we're going to enjoy it.
And that's one that can stay.
Fully allowed to make fun of fat guys. It's great. I love it. Because someday we'll be fat guys too, I'm sure. You've been a fat guy here and there.
I've been a fat guy.
And you lose weight.
I'm fluctuating
worse
than Oprah.
You're a good fluctuator. Yeah. You're looking good, though. You're svelte right now. It's good job.
I'm doing my best.
Good job. Ollie up. You're going to be ollieing up at some point.
Wait till we get on the road and I'm just taking a bucket of PB&J with me.
Can you take that through security?
I don't know. We're going to find out. These don't explode. I'll be
Sir,
all right.
What is this? It's a bucket of peanut butter and jellies.
You can have one if you want one.
Sir, why do you have them in a bucket? Where do you keep your food?
What are you going to do with them? You see how many I've got?
What else? Hold on. Where do you keep them? I'm not.
How many of those do you think I could fit in my pocket, man?
Dude, I'm full of stuff, and you said to take everything out of my pockets. So what was I supposed to do?
I put them in the bucket.
I got a bucket. Duh. Jesus.
Obviously.
Am I? No wonder why the airport works so slow. These people aren't very bright. No, you can't have a sandwich.
Shit.
So, he's hurt by that. This year, he plays in 69 games for the Suns. He starts 30 this year, so he's platooning with Mark West at this point.
Right.
And this is right before they brought in, like, Hot Rod Williams and their cabal of terrible fucking 90s Sun centers. God damn it. What are you, 6'9", 6'10"?
Yeah.
Go, you're worth 5 fouls. Get in there. That's all it was.
How much can we pay Joe Klein to foul people all day?
To not play ever. To play 3 minutes a game, come in, foul a guy, go sit back down. Thanks, Joe Klein. Useless. Fucking useless, man.
The 90s were good for redheaded centers. Like, if you were a ginger and 7'2",
you could be one.
You could play in the NBA.
And you get paid money.
Athleticism, who cares? You got red hair.
There, wave your arms around.
Get in here.
Just be there.
Can you fit in this jersey?
Perfect. Ollie, no, you can't? Okay, never mind.
Bye.
Sorry.
We got Joe Klein.
The answer's always no for Oliver. I can't fit in that jersey. Right. He plays 25.9 minutes a game, so that's a lot. It's more into the rotation. 9.2 points a game, 6.9 rebounds, 3.5 assists, and 2.3 blocks.
Yeah.
Coming around. That's a decent second-tier center. Not bad. Makes $672,000 this year. Not terrible. So that season, the Suns have another really good season. And this was another exciting one where you thought they had a chance. Like, okay, last year we made it to Game 6, and this year we're going to finally go over the hump and do it. And instead, the goddamn Rockets were the juggernaut in the way of us. And 7-game series. I remember it took it all 7, and it was brutal.
They had so many good players, though.
It was tough. It's hard to play Olajuwon if you have no center. It's just hard. If your centers are Mark West and Oliver Miller, it's difficult to have Olajuwon and not have him dominate you.
Mario Ellie was on that team?
And fucking Vernon Maxwell and that was such a Robert Horry. It was a loaded team.
Kenny Smith.
Kenny Smith shooting
so
threes.
Many great players.
They were a really tough squad, man.
Jesus.
That was tough. So no shame in that. The Rockets go on to win 2 straight finals. And that year, let's see, in the Western Conference Finals, they beat the Suns in 7 games and crushed my fucking spirits, and then went on to beat the Knicks in 7 games in the finals and make me even more fucking miserable. John Starks going none for fucking 19, you cocksucker.
14
fucking
games
Pat Riley.
of
Don't pull him out. Just shoot. Keep shooting. 14 games of that's what it was. 3 weeks of me being completely fucking miserable as a child. Jesus Christ. So May comes around. They lose that series. Barkley had a tough time, too. Barkley had a groin injury, and I remember that series against Houston. Every time that there'd be transition and going back the other way, he would do that turn and oh, shit, try to get running because his groin hurt. Oh, we have to go back now? Fuck. Can we play half court and just stay down here for a while?
Cherry pick, coach?
I'll just hang. Outlet passes, man. I'm going to be ready down here.
Bitch.
I'll be right next to the paint. Don't worry about it. So they lose in Houston in the 7th game, which was brutal. And they get home that night, May 21st of 1994. And there is the next day they get home, and there's an interesting event that happens here. And this is from an article in the Phoenix New Times by a guy named Darren Hostetler, and this was widely reported. This is not like this is the one place where it was. It's widely reported, and we'll explain exactly what happened. And we don't know if it happened or it didn't happen because we weren't there. So we have no idea, but we'll tell the story.
I was close by.
As it was told.
I was asleep 3 blocks away.
Yeah, you were right away. You could have gone over there and
I could have knocked on the door. If I'd have known we were going to do this shit, I'd have gone and asked some questions.
God damn it, Jimmie. Have some fucking foresight.
Instead, I got foreskin. Shit.
God damn it. Well, that's a problem. So by the end of by that night, Barkley and a couple of the guys decide to hit the town and go out and do whatever. So it's Charles Barkley, Cedric Sabalas. So if there's a party going on, Ced's going to be there. If you live in Phoenix and have been in Phoenix for 20 years and you've seen Cedric Sabalas
somewhere
at a bar, at a club, at a restaurant, he's just always around. He's a fixture in Phoenix.
And back then, he had a 5.0 convertible Mustang that was loud as all balls.
No shit.
And he would drive that fucking thing everywhere. So you would see him everywhere in that goddamn car. I think was it orange or was it? I think it was orange.
That makes sense.
I think it was like Suns orange.
That's because I used to work at a bar in downtown Phoenix, and he was there all the time.
Yeah.
He was just always wandering around, picking up women, just fucking being
Cedric Sabalas.
Being a foot taller than everybody, just walking around with his head sticking up. So you just look over the crowd and there, Ced's here, and nobody else you can find except for him.
There he is.
That was when Sean Marion got drafted, they brought him in to the bar there, and he was like in a suit, and he was like 9 feet tall in this fucking suit, and I'm like, he was just all stiff and like...
He doesn't want to tear it.
Yeah,
the thing was expensive.
It was, he's like so tall. It was. He looked tall like when a man on stilts looks tall,
right?
Where it looks like if they
uncomfortably
start losing their balance, they're going to fall down. That's what Sean Marion looked like to me in a suit. It was disturbing.
He looked like that way on the fucking court.
He did.
His shot was awkward. It was so good.
He's so good.
It was so weird. Though.
Yeah, he was an ugly shooter. Great defender, and his shot wasn't bad. It was just ugly. Shot from his chest, like a kid who hasn't been taught properly.
Right, like a 12-year-old that it's his first day playing basketball.
You're like, oh, let me show you how to do that, kid. Yeah,
you look stupid, son.
He's dropping threes. So they decide to go out. Oliver Miller, Cedric Sabalas, and Charles Barkley. That's a large group of men. Barkley and Miller going out together is insane.
They're taking a bus. There's a pickup truck somewhere that got them there.
That they got in the back of.
Right.
Yeah, they each had their own bed. So, they do that. They go to a nightclub named Jets with a Z, of course.
Yeah.
Hey, you got to have that. Is that still okay? I was going to say that's not still in operation. I hope some douchey Scottsdale.
No, it's what it was.
It's Scottsdale. Yeah. Total. I was going to say, guarantee you, it's Old Town Scottsdale.
It's right there by where Access Radius was. In that
douchey.
Same. It was. It's fucking a horrible area.
You mean in the rape corridor?
That's the one.
I call that in the roofy section of town in the rape corridor. Okay,
absolutely.
That's what I thought there. Yeah, that's what that is. If you're from Phoenix, you're laughing because you understand that's 1,000% true.
It is a date rape central.
It's date rape. It's right off date rape central in the roofy corridor, right in the rape quadrant of the rape district of the. Yeah,
it's all just unwelcome
of roofy county
into women.
Yeah,
that's what it is.
It's not good here.
It's terrible.
This is apparently a joint where they would go all the time after games. This was like a hot spot for them. So they go out. They have some partying to do, and we'll find out what happened a little bit later on here. But we'll find out right now. At 6:05 the next morning, a Phoenix police detective gets a phone call on a Sunday morning, and he's instructed to go to a Phoenix home and interview the possible victim of a sexual assault that night. Now, right away, he is told that this involves the Sun star Oliver Miller, and Charles Barkley's involved, and Cedric Sabalas, and this isn't like a This isn't your normal case here.
This isn't your date rape that happened in the rape corridor. This actually went out of it. It got out of it. It got out of the parameters. Right?
That's what happens, man.
They sidestepped the guards and they got out of there, and then it went to another location.
But the Old Town Scottsdale date rape is like the shadow monster in Stranger Things. Like it leaks out, and it's one little crevice, and a piece of it stays in the world, and it gets under somebody's skin, and it infects somebody, and then they all melt together, and it's a big giant thing. It's fucking crazy.
And then somebody's nose is bleeding.
And if Winona Ryder doesn't save the day, we're all fucked. Yeah, you know how it works. It's fucking nuts.
Yeah.
By the way, Jesus Christ, how about everybody die while you sing the never-ending story, you fat little fuck? Gee, what the fuck happens? What is going on?
Yeah.
Sorry, you didn't watch the news. We watched Stranger Things.
I've started it.
For Christ's sake.
It doesn't make any sense already.
Hey, no, it's really good this season. It's really good, but everybody's going to die because you have to sing the never-ending story now? And it's been in my head for 4 days, too, you fuckers.
I can't wait.
God damn it.
I'm at the end of the first one.
Oh, you'll enjoy it. It's it's good season. It's not bad.
It moves. Does it?
It
good.
Moves fast.
With the first one, it started pretty slow.
Fast.
Good.
Well, they got to set something up and see where they've been for. You don't even know where these guys have been for.
And also now they know that people give a shit and want it.
Yes, so you have to set it up right.
Something.
But it's not bad. It's really good. It's weird. It's full of keep a notebook and write down the 80s tropes next to it. It's like there's a lot of Red Dawn mixed in, and there's also Day of the Dead in there, and Fast Times at Ridgemont High is paralleled a lot, and it goes into, but it's even like the dialogue, they have a lot of because they reference Cheers in the beginning. It's a long story, but they reference Cheers, so there's a lot of Sam and Diane, will they or won't they dialogue between Hopper and Winona Ryder, so they do that on purpose. So there's a lot of shit to pick out where if a kid who's 14 is watching it, they won't know.
They're not going to get it.
They won't know that that's anything. They'll just watch it for what it is. But if you're watching, you go, oh, I see what they're doing here.
So they're target audiencing me and you, and then hoping they hang on to those kids?
No, I think those kids are just into the story anyway, and then me and you are going to figure out what the other shit they're going to do. And they're going to have them walk down a cereal aisle and see Mr. T cereal and all the cereal that we had when we were fucking 5 and all that shit. Yeah, they're going to do that stuff and twist us up that way and have the never-ending story song stuck in my head for a week. Bastards. So totally off the subject that was. So anyway, they said that it was pretty he was one of the top detectives here. They said that it was this was a sensitive thing. So they said it couldn't wait until Monday. He gets to the house, and the house here, this woman, we won't give her name, obviously, here. She said that the police officer said when he got there, the woman was lying down on the couch. She had a robe on. He asked her where the clothing that she'd been wearing earlier. She said that her pants were somewhere, but there was no reason to give the clothes to the police officer because she's not planning on prosecuting.
Really?
She said she doesn't want to prosecute. She says she also does not want to have a medical examination.
No rape kit.
She wants nothing, she said. She just wants to be left alone.
Okay.
Her friend was there, though, and her friend said, can you leave us alone for a couple minutes to the police officer? Let me talk to her for a minute. And then a few minutes later, her friend exited the house to talk to the police and said that she changed her mind and now she'll get a medical examination. She was just saying, I don't want anything to do with it. I don't want any of this shit. And her friend was like, dude, whatever. So apparently they went to John C. Lincoln Hospital.
Right.
Up the street from here, where she's examined. They said that there was no physical signs of trauma as far as she wasn't bruised or punched or beaten or held.
Outwardly.
No, wrist
lesions,
marks. She wasn't tied down or anything like that. But they said there was, quote, redness to the vaginal area that appeared she had had sex. So there was just that. Samples of fluid. They took, samples of fluids and shit like that. And this is what the police officer wrote after talking to her at the hospital. Quote, Mary did not seem intoxicated. She did appear withdrawn, tired, sleepy, and showed little emotion until she began describing particular sex acts. She said that she had felt uncomfortable talking to the police officer who's a stranger about intimate things like that. Which, fuck yeah.
You're going to have to fucking illustrate for somebody your sex life?
I would hope a detective in this field would be sensitive enough to that to be able to, that's why they have SVU, you know what I mean? Like on TV. Like,
get Ice Cube in here.
Yeah.
Or Ice-T, I mean.
Chris Maloney's going to make you feel better. Ice Cube is not.
No.
He's going to come in. What, motherfucker?
Ice-T might be a little... No, he's going to be terrible.
No, he's going to be awful at it, too. You don't send...
Both Ices.
You don't send Ice-T... It's funny. He's not the one they send in to talk to the girl who's been traumatized. They don't send Ice-T in there.
Tell me about it, bitch.
You wait outside. Hey, Ice. Wait outside. No, your cat called her ass on the way in. You said, yo, that's a fat ass, baby. Like, we can't have that shit in the SVU. Wait, you deal with the criminals. You fuck with them because you're badass with them. You'll run out and fucking tackle them, put a gun. Cool. But, the girl, let's
have you talk to her.
Let's let Mariska Haggerty take care of this thing. What do you say?
Did you say Haggerty?
What's her name?
Hargitay.
Hargitay? Haggerty?
Mariska
I thought it was Haggerty. I have no idea what her fucking name is.
That was awesome.
Who cares what her name is? The lady from SVU that doesn't do anything else. I don't fucking know.
Her mom was...
I was going to say, whose mom was more famous?
Her mom was amazing. Her mom was the lady that... Yeah. Jay Mansfield.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's great. Yeah. Terrific. I don't know. She does nothing else.
And Mariska was in the back seat when her mom died. Yeah. I don't know if you know that.
I did know that, actually. Yeah. And
she got that little bar on the bottom of the semi is called a Mansfield bar because her mom was... almost decapitated, whatever.
They went a little exaggerated.
Yeah. But that bar is there now so that you don't get decapitated. And Mariska was in the back seat.
For making fun of her. Not for that.
She doesn't do great.
No, not for that.
Listen, you get in a car accident doesn't make you a great actress.
My cousin, who's like 21 now, when she was a child, she was an actress. She was in a lot of things, and she was in a couple episodes of SVU, 2 different ones where she was like, kind of an integral part of the plot there, and they are like the nicest people. Like
Jesus,
Haggerty. Like,
I thought you were about to just tell us that your sister or your cousin got in a car accident.
No,
and was
she's
decapitated.
fine. No, they were just very nice to her as a child, as they treated her well, and they like took her, aside and were very nice to her. And so they're nice people, and I feel bad for making fun of her because I know she's nice, and that makes me feel bad. I feel bad if people are nice.
Yeah.
Like, that's all you have to be is nice. And I'm like, I kind of feel like a dick now.
Well, she should be nice. I mean, she was humbled super early in life.
That's true. I mean? That's true.
If she was a bitch about things now, you'd probably still understand.
Yeah. So now this woman talks to the officer about the preceding 12 hours. And all of these details are also confirmed by separate interviews of the 2 women she was with. Okay. So, like, everybody has the same story, all 3 women that were here. Apparently this woman and her sister and their friend, they give them names in the article of just aliases. I mean, we might as well do that so there's names.
Yeah.
The woman in question that we're discussing, she's not in question, but the woman who was at the hospital here, Mary, that's what they call her. They call her sister Kelly, and they call their friend Sue. So that's easy enough. So they had apparently said they were going out that night to go country dancing.
Hell yeah.
So this is 1994. They are going to go fucking Billy Ray Cyrus it up right there. This is prime time achy breaky horse shit right now. Boy,
this is so much rodeo.
Oh, Jesus.
So much Garth Brooks. Friends in low places.
My nightmare.
All night. On loop.
This is when I moved to here, and when I come here, there'd be like billboards of country music stations. I'm like, where am I? This is
You're
terrible.
in the land of the thunder rolls, James.
No, I can't do it. So that was the plan. Mary left her 2 kids with a friend and went to dinner with her 2 friends here. The 3 of them said they were planning on doing that. They went to dinner, and then they were planning on going country dancing, and then they changed their minds and stopped by the Jets nightclub, which, I mean, I'm sure there was country bars in Old Town. So that's one of those things. Are we going to this place or that place? It's 5 doors down or whatever.
But Jets, they're looking a little weirdly dressed in there, and they're cowboys.
I was going to say, if they went out, that's a different crowd, I would think, from one to the other, especially in 94. That's a way
Jets
different
is a
crowd.
Nightclub.
Yeah.
And you got your fucking cowboy boots on?
That's a club where rich black guys go to party. Like, you don't wear the cowboy gear to that one. It's a different type of place.
Dudes in silk shirts in here.
That's what I'm saying.
Snaps, motherfucker.
What's that about? Strange. So they got there about 9 o'clock, and everybody said they each had one drink, and then they danced for about an hour. They did had a drink and danced with it for a while and did all that. Apparently they were about to leave about 9. They were going to go to somewhere different. They're just, they're going to bounce around. Old Town, you can do that. And they said as they were about to leave, there was a kind of a commotion near the entranceway, and Mary's sister saw Charles Barkley come in the nightclub.
Yeah.
At this point, Barkley is, next to Jordan, the most famous basketball player in the world.
What a star.
And he's a giant star. In Phoenix, multiply that by 100.
Right.
By 100.
Because this market has nobody famous.
He's the biggest star that's ever been here. Other people, like we said, have come here, have been drafted here and become stars here, but that's different. An outside person coming in, they're so much bigger.
And judge the athleticism of, say, Tom Chambers versus Barkley.
Yeah.
It's not the same plane.
You can't underestimate, because some people that listen to our show are too young, the Dream Team, that 92 Dream Team, how famous those guys were.
Ridiculous.
Were worldwide. Yeah. Barkley was a worldwide sensation. So in Phoenix, it was like, oh my God.
Yeah.
So he came into the nightclub there, and Barkley apparently walked up to Mary and began talking to her.
Hey, cowgirl.
Picture. Yeah, I think he was like, damn, that's a weird looking.
Oh, those cowboy boots.
What
are you doing in here?
Your shirt look like a picnic table?
Let's have a talk.
That's cool. Let's do it.
That's
like a picnic tablecloth.
I like that skirt.
Yeah. So began talking to her. He didn't introduce himself at all, which is a cocky move.
That is.
He just walked over and was like, "Hey,
amazing.
how you doing? Yeah, I'm Charles. I'm Charles Barkley."
He just walks up and goes, "Hey,
what's happening?
Hey,
yeah,
you know.
How
are you?
Yeah,
let's chat."
That's weird.
I want that one day. That's so
imagine
awesome.
That. Well, she said she didn't know who he was actually, which is weird.
Well, because she likes country music.
Yeah, you have to have no, like, you would know, even if you weren't a basketball fan in Phoenix, it's hard to avoid Charles Barkley.
You have to be oblivious.
You had to really not care about anything. So she said she didn't know who he was, but her sister did, and her sister said, that's fucking Charles Barkley. He's hugely famous and the biggest star in the world. And
Haven't you heard of fucking Charles Barkley?
Yeah, what the hell? She said that he had a, quote, another little guy named Pookie with him.
That's his entourage.
So that's his entourage.
Yeah.
He's got a guy named Pookie, who I assume is the guy who's not allowed to drink while he gets shit-faced, and so he can drive him home.
Yeah.
She said that there were not a shitload of people at the bar when the players first got there, but then when they were there for a few, the place got crowded.
Takes a second for people down the street to go.
Exactly.
Barkley's in there.
Everybody ends up.
You're not going to believe it.
The three of them too, and everybody ended up. That became the hot spot on the street.
And the owner of the bar's like, "Fucking Yahtzee, I'm paying my mortgage."
This is holy shit. So Mary also talks to Oliver Miller, who they describe Mary as 5'3" and 113 pounds. So,
oh my God.
Unfortunately, Oliver Miller, when they first started talking, he was very confused and tried to put her in his bucket, which was, she said, "I'm a person. No, I'm not." And he went, "Oh, I thought you was a snack. I'm sorry. I thought Pookie brought you to me to eat." He said, that's good, because I'm real hungry. Right. It wasn't going to be enough. So she gets out of the bucket. Yeah. Apparently, she says Oliver grabbed her by the hand and asked her if she wanted to go to a party. He proceeded to take her by the hand to a place in the bar where they were in the corner.
Yeah.
And they formed their own little VIP section. Yeah. And she took this Mary over to the corner there. Come over here. Oliver then asked Cedric Sabalas what his address was, since it was his house where the party was going to be held. And again, at this point, according to everything said here, Miller asked her if she was going to the party. She said that she wasn't sure because she was going to go to another club, so she wasn't positive. He told her that he didn't mean right now, but like after the closing time, we're going to party. So even if you go to another club,
nah, bitch, naked time.
Circle
That's
back.
When we're going.
It's like 10 o'clock. Right. I'm not even shit-faced yet, and we need to gather like a harem.
Right.
Like we need like a group.
We got to find more girls and more buckets.
That's how it goes.
And then we'll go home.
Anybody hungry? I'm just hungry. We just ate, Oliver. Well, my bucket's getting empty, and I just need to fill my bucket. So, she said that she was going to another club. He said, not right now. And then he gave her an address, and she said, okay. And this was Cedric Sabalas' address.
Right.
Because his parties are at her house.
It's like
or at his house.
2311 East Cinnabar or something like that.
Some shit. The funny part is, too, we know somebody else that lived right by Cedric Sabalas. Do you remember that?
No.
A friend of ours. I'm not going to name these people on the air and just blow them up in case, I don't know, whatever. But
why do I can't?
Friend of ours' boyfriend lived near Cedric Sabalas, and he was talking about him to us and how he.
Why don't I remember that person?
Was very friendly and a nice guy, but would definitely.
Oh, it was a famous person.
No, it wasn't a famous person.
Really?
No, it wasn't. But still, it's never mind.
We'll talk about it
after the show.
God damn it.
We know someone who also saw Cedric Sabalas likes to party.
Okay,
there's no secret. Mm-hmm. If you live in the Valley of Phoenix, you know Cedric Sabalas.
Oh
likes
boy,
to party.
does he? Yeah.
So she took the address. So Mary, Kelly, Sue, the three women, they leave Jets and they go for a few hours to another Scottsdale club. They're bouncing around here. One called Sharks. This is the era of one word.
Well, I mean, it still is.
It still is, yeah.
Apart from Access Radius, everything else down there, Gilligan's, Mist. They're all just stupid nightclub names.
Douchey.
Yeah, one word bullshit.
Yeah. So the bar closes, the Sharks closes, and as it closes, the conversation with the ladies, they start talking about the party.
Yeah.
Are we going to go to this party? What are we doing? We're out. Why not? What the fuck? So the three of them decide to go to the party. Now, Mary says it was a joint decision to go among everybody. At first, they didn't really want to go, but they thought about it for a while, and she said, quote, "It would sure be fun to meet the players, stay 5 minutes, and tell the kids that we got to go to a party where there were basketball players, and they would get a kick out of that, and that would be the end of it."
Oh, this story's about to not be so much fun to tell your kids.
That's what they think is going to happen, and that's the thing that a normal person who does, that's how, okay, nothing wrong with thinking like that, because that's how a normal person who's not in a certain mindset would think. So no one is blaming her like, oh, you're a fucking idiot. A normal person would just go, oh, that's pretty cool. Yeah, I could stay for a few minutes and then I could just tell people I was there and it's kind of fun.
Well, it's a party. There's going to be all kinds of people there.
All kinds of people. She can tell her kids. It's a fun thing. It's it's just like a fun story.
Right.
It's one of those things like, how often are we going to run into Charles Barkley and get invited to a party? It's a weird thing. Let's just go have fun for a few minutes.
And there are girls also, too, that would be like, this is great. We're going to go over there. All we have to do is fuck them, and we get to hang out.
And then that's the other thing.
Be crazy.
There are girls like that who the women who are looking for different things out of athletes and that. But these women thought it would be a good time to go fucking hang out.
Just go hang out. Right.
What they thought.
They're normal girls with.
They're kind of just normal.
Little naive.
I'm going to say they're going out. It's 94. They're going out. They're pretty fucking basic bitches at this point. And I don't mean to use that term, but there's no other term but basic bitch. And they're pretty basic. They're going out to achy breaky dance and fucking. And they're just going out to have fun. They're not like in the party scene. Right. They're not doing that. They have their moms.
Right.
They have kids. This is probably they went out once every 2 months and this is their night out. Right. Like, hey, while we're out, we might as well. So
this is bananas. Charles Barkley just invited us to a party.
Crazy.
What's the worst that could happen?
Yeah. So she gets to the party at about 2 a.m. Not good. The home is it's south of Shea.
Yep.
It's, as you know, it's kind of like the 32nd and Shea area, if you know that area at all.
24th Street goes right around the mountain. It's
exactly.
Bananas. It's really, it's actually twisty up there.
Phoenix native. Yeah, there's some cool streets up there and shit here. Apparently they had trouble finding the address. Because pre-GPS, it's not easy to navigate through there, and especially it's dark up there because it's by the mountains.
There's no street lights.
It's in the mountains. Right. There's like, or it'll be on one side of the street, but not the other because there's a mountain on the other side. So
and this isn't like a cul-de-sac.
Yeah,
so it's like there's no street lights in there at all.
No, it's going to be dark. So she said that she hadn't written the address down, which was not a smart move. So they went out and they're partying for a few hours. Then she's trying to remember an address and find it at the same time.
And Cinnabar is the street name.
Yeah,
try to remember that shit.
Cinnabon?
If you've never heard
it's
it
Cinnabon.
And you hear it once.
It's Cinnabon. I swear.
Did he say he lives on Cinnamon?
Is there a Cinnamon Lane around here? I'm looking for Cinnamon Lane. So this is our Frosting Drive.
He doesn't live there anymore, so I don't feel bad saying it.
No, it doesn't matter. So they drove around the area for a while, and then they saw a limousine pull up to a house. At 2:30 in the morning. Said the whole entire neighborhood was dark, and in this house it was like brightly lit. It was like Home Alone when they come to rob it, and there's like every window's lit, and there's people dancing. It was like that, basically. Dark, dark, dark. Hey, fucking party time.
Dark, dark, dark. There's the party house.
There's the fucking party. Yeah, they might as well have had a balloon on the mailbox. The limos, and it was lit up. It was pretty obvious.
Yeah.
They should have stuck a balloon in the mailbox. So the ladies said they walked up to the house and into the living room. And according to Sue, who's the one friend, her statement to the police, a few people were standing around, quote, in an uncomfortable situation. No one seemed to know each other. And before long, there were explicit porn movies playing on the big screen television.
Hell yeah.
So they said it was kind of...
If you don't know what kind of party this is now...
We're at a basketball player's house. Everyone's standing around uncomfortably. It's not like, yeah, here's my pool table that I said we're all going to play, and someone puts porn on a big screen.
On several. Didn't it just say several?
I feel like dicks are going to come out soon. Is
this like? Does all of them? Does he make these? What?
I hope not.
Is this a award show tonight? What are we doing? Is this a preview party? Are these all brand new?
He's holding up his gut. That's how you know it's him.
Are these all new releases?
Are these all new? Wow. Wow. You guys got they gave you the screener copies? Excellent. Jesus Christ.
These are all watermarked.
Wow. Are you press? This is like a press thing, isn't it? So, yeah, they go in the living room, uncomfortable situation, porn on. So Barkley goes through the doorway, comes through, and, apparently he set his sights on the Mary girl and came over and a woman and said hello to her. She said that she thought it was, quote, so neat to meet these players.
Yeah.
She's still in that mindset of like, she's acting like she's in at a corporate fundraiser that they stop by to boost the silent auction.
Right.
That's what she's acting like. And it's a mixer, and she's going to go over and talk to him, and she's going to be like, oh my God, Barkley was there. And then she's going to go home afterwards. But you're not in that situation.
No.
But you have to understand too, how the media, and not just the media, how the team presented these players too. They presented them as these are the shining beacon. Back then, it wasn't like, and especially in '94 and especially in Phoenix,
right.
The Colangelos, the owners of this team, always have had a thing where they are like, if someone does anything wrong, they're gone. They're just fucking gone.
We will make an example of them.
We'll make an example unless they're Charles Barkley, and then they can throw as many people through windows as they want. But God damn it, if you're Cliff Robinson, you have a fucking dime bag of weed on you, we will not have that in this fucking town.
Jason Kittle beat the shit out of his wife.
We need a point guard is what I'm getting at. Okay, so let's not get crazy.
But if Richardson knocks up Steve
later,
Nash's wife,
peace out,
then
asshole.
he's getting traded.
That's what I'm saying. So they really had like and it's everybody. It's marketing, so they're not going to present them as criminals. Obviously, they're going to present them as wholesome and shit like that. So I don't think she just really exactly knew. And social media wasn't out. Right. It just wasn't the same time it is now. You could still be naive then, whereas now it's a lot harder to be naive.
And you could be on the fringe of the sport and not really be a fan of it.
That's the other thing.
And that's what she
not
is.
Know the culture.
Right. She doesn't understand what happens in this shit.
That's exactly right. She said she thought it was nice. Charles Barkley was complimenting her. Yeah. This famous guy is complimenting her. She said that he said something nice that she couldn't remember, but she said she had received after Barkley gave her a compliment. She'd been to the place. She felt like she did something. She said that was her thrill for the evening. Like, oh, we did it. Okay, great. Let's go home now. She told her sister that she wanted to leave, but the Sue woman didn't want to go home yet. She wanted to stay for a while longer. So that's the friend. So this Mary woman said she, stayed too. She's like, all right, fine. She said she began to get a little bit uncomfortable with Barkley, who was at the top of the stairs in the living room, stairs above the living room, making an announcement to the crowd. This is.
Oh boy. I cannot wait to hear this announcement.
I feel like this is a rehearsed announcement that he's said a few times.
I think I know what he said because I think this was in the article.
Oh yeah, maybe. Yeah. He says he gathers everyone together and he says, "quote Before this party starts," which it seems like it's
begun.
It's already started.
There's porn on TV, Charles.
Yeah, that's not the party he's talking about though. He says, "Before this party starts, I want everybody to know that anything that goes on in this house doesn't leave this house."
Yahtzee.
That's what he said. So then he pounded his fist into his hand and saying, "quote He said, quote If you can't handle that, leave now," is what he said. So. That's pretty weird and kind of like, what does that mean? What's going to happen?
Scary?
Yeah,
ominous at best.
If everyone's having fun, he's like, hold on, serious shit for 1 second.
Everybody needs to know, if you're not cool with crazy, fuck out.
That's a weird, I'd be like, I don't know what's going to happen, but I don't think I want to find out now.
No.
I was curious before, but fuck that now. So apparently, though, at that point, the three women stay. Now, Mary says later on, she tells police that she, quote, figured that Barkley was talking about what he was talking about was a big orgy. She figured all these people were here to fuck. There's porn on, and he's just saying, hey, you know, we're all famous, and let's not go talking about shit, and let's all get fucking now.
Right.
And anybody who wants to fuck is, you know, come up here and fuck, and if not...
Then get
fucking.
to fucking.
Get to fucking.
Fuck off then.
So, you know, Sue said that she wanted to see what was going to happen at that point. She's curious.
I can't wait to watch all this.
Well, it's like this is
gonna be crazy.
You're living this is a totally different world. So I could see somebody being curious of like, I gotta at least see what the fuck goes on here. Like, how can we leave? He just made a huge orgy announcement.
He just said if you're not cool with it, leave.
You know,
I'm cool with it. I'm not saying I'm gonna participate.
Are you
but I'm
not
cool? With it. I want to watch. I can't wait to see how crazy this turns out.
That's what I mean.
Right.
And I can't say I wouldn't have done the same thing or thought the same thing. I'd be like, this is going to be interesting as fuck.
I don't have to participate to be cool with it.
That's the thing. You never think you're going to be, you know, have to participate in anything. So, yeah, Mary said that her sister and her knew what was going to happen, but Sue did not have a clue since she said Sue was very naive.
Yeah.
So in the opposite way, Sue was like, I wonder what's going to happen. It's like, I wonder what that means. Are they going to like gamble now and like play darts for money? I don't know. What are we doing? Like, she had no idea. And they were like, no, Sue. They're all going to fuck.
There's going to be guts.
It's going to be super jizz everywhere.
We're about to see Charles Barkley's dick.
Oh, boy. So Mary said that she didn't ever think of being involved in any of this at all herself. She just said she knew it was going to happen. She said that as soon as she started to see anything going down, that was when she was like, look, we'll stay for a while, but as soon as shit starts getting weird, as soon as I see somebody's cock out, I'm fucking taking a hike here. So that was one of them. Now, her sister, the Mary lady's sister, told one investigator that Dan Marley and Joe Klein were also there, but other people didn't mention it. But they weren't asked specifically about it. So that's interesting also, if useless Joe Klein was there. Then again, if he was there, you probably wouldn't notice because he'd be on a bench somewhere.
He'd be over there fouling somebody.
He wouldn't actually be in the party. He'd be like in the garage waiting to come in. Like, Klein, you can only come in for a minute and a half. You got to wait out in the garage the rest of the time. So, they chatted for a while. They said, for the three women, they said, they noted, as they put it, with disdain the presence of several slutty looking girls in the house. So they were all like, look at these whores looking around. Fuck basketball players. And these girls are gross. And
can't believe those exist.
They're being women, you know.
Dream makers.
So, yeah. So then apparently they tried to go upstairs to use the bathroom. And she said there was a lot of traffic up and down the stairs. A man and a woman sitting on the steps would not allow them to get through up there. They're like blocking it off. And so they suggested that they use the downstairs bathroom, and they did. And afterward, they could hear a conversation about Oliver Miller's marriage. So Oliver Miller's marriage at this point was on the rocks a little bit. And, he was on a balcony at the top of the stairs talking to a bunch of other guys and bitching about his marriage and being like, whatever. And they're just, whatever. So then he sees Mary down there and he motions for Mary to come talk to him. And he says, I want to talk to you, to Mary. So now the people on the stairs let her pass by and she went up. And, according to the police report here, once upstairs, Pookie, the bucket fetcher, Pookie came up behind her, she said, and grabbed her shoulders as she made eye contact with Barkley, Pookie, and Oliver. She described it as, quote, everybody knew something was going to happen, is what she said. She said that she was in the balcony there in a darkened corner, and she wasn't going to yell or scream. The people up there were all his friends and all that, so she didn't know what to do. So she kept mouthing to her sister, kind of, hey, get me out of here. Like, hey, you know,
we gotta go.
Yeah, help me get me the fuck out of here. Like, they're talking to me, and I don't like where this is going, so let's go. Apparently, her sister didn't understand what she was trying to do. So Barkley, she says, approached her and grabbed her right arm, but not hard. She said, just kind of like, grab somebody. He began, never do that, by the way, hard or not. Ask someone to come, and if they want to follow, they can follow. Unless you're like with them, and then they want to be grabbed.
Sometimes they like that shit. Yeah.
Then you fucking grab.
Fuck yeah.
So
twist it around her back, for fuck's sake.
Well, only upon request, please. Only upon request. That's not. Someone isolate that. That'll be great. Just across her back, grab him by the pussy. That's worse, I think. What you said was worse.
Twist it around her back, for fuck's sake.
Fucking really cranking on there. Give her a forearm shiver right to the nose, you know what I'm saying?
And then don't let go.
No. Like a tiger by the tail. So he said that he began pulling her. As he pulled her on the arm, he called her name and pulled her into the bedroom, saying, "You need to be in here," and then shut the door behind her.
Oh, Jesus.
She said that Barkley was standing at the bedroom door when he grabbed her. She said that Barkley never entered the room, and she was uncertain where Oliver Miller came from, but she turned around and he was right in front of her. So Mary said she started to get scared at this point because she didn't know what was happening, and like anybody would, these are giant people. If you're a small person, giant people have you
She's
feel
5'3", and these are dudes that are way over 6 feet tall.
Yeah, and have you a feeling of you being trapped. It's a little bit weird. So she described the bedroom as big with white thick shutters and like a satiny green bedspread, and she said there was a lot of pillows around. Looked like somebody decorated it basically. She said there was a light on in the bathroom, but that sort of thing. She could remember the room. Mary said that Oliver Miller asked her, quote, "Are you scared?" And she said that she was a little bit intimidated. She said, "I'm a little bit intimidated," but she said actually she was scared to death, but didn't want to say that.
Say that in front of the fucking
the dude who she was afraid of.
Right.
So
you don't tell the fucking the robber that you're scared to death.
Yeah, you're like, it's cool. No, take what you need.
You don't tell the boogeyman.
So she said Oliver at that point said something to the effect of, quote, "What's wrong? You don't like black guys?" So he said that, and she said that she didn't answer. And which means no, she doesn't like black guys, probably. Maybe. I don't know.
It's hard to say that to somebody that is standing right there.
Well, how much because the automatic response would be, of course not. That's not it. So how much must she really not like black guys
to not say
just
that?
To not say shit about it. You know what I mean? In that situation. So
or maybe she doesn't know. Maybe her answer should be, don't know. I'd never done. But I got a husband and kids. I got to run.
Don't care. She's divorced. Okay. She's not married at all. She's a single mom.
Okay.
So
even still,
yeah. Oliver asked again at this point, "Or you don't like big black guys?" I think you're a giant fucking fat fuck is more irrelevant than your color. The color doesn't matter at all.
No.
You're giant and fat and
she's 5'3",
and you've been dancing for hours and you probably stink.
Right.
That's my point. So she said that Oliver repeatedly asked her the same two questions over and over again. You don't like black guys? What's the matter? You don't like big black guys? What the fuck? Oliver then asked her if she had any tan lines, which is a very
That's personal.
Suggestive question.
Well, that's none of your business.
I don't think so. She told him that she had a sunburn, and Oliver requested to see her tan lines and told her to unzip her pants and take them off. Mary said that she's not going to unzip her pants, but Oliver said he would. Oh, don't worry, I'll take care of that for you. She said that she was wearing 501 button-down jeans there, Levi's, and she said when he grabbed them, they popped open. So you know how those go. That's how they're meant to do. You grab them, they pop open. So she said he took her pants down and pulled her onto the bed. Once on the bed, she says that he made her perform oral sex on him and pushed her head down and all that type of shit. Jesus Christ, I hate going into this section.
So hard. It's so hard to hear.
I'll read the quote from the article because the way it's written is even. It's quote, "She was told by Oliver to suck his balls, which she did." I don't know. I'm sorry. That's terrible. But the way it's written,
I can't believe they wrote that.
It's written in like a comically blunt format about something that is not comedic at all.
No, it's like he's doing a porn review.
Yes.
She was asked to lick his balls, so she did.
Which she complied.
Right.
It's super weird.
It's terrible.
She said that
You don't even have to say that part. She was asked to perform fellatio. That's enough.
That's enough.
We get it.
Oral sex is fine. We get it.
We get it.
We don't have to.
We can use our imagination.
I mean, I guess that's a detail.
It's a little more specific.
It's very specific, but I'm uncomfortable sharing that shit with you. So she said that he kept her head down there and asked if she liked it, and she said she didn't know how long this was going on, but it felt like forever.
I imagine at his size, it would take forever to lick his balls.
Fucking hold on. Wait, let me.
There's still half to
I
go.
need some backup.
Right.
So afterwards, he apparently got on top of her and, had intercourse with her here. Mary here said he never took his shorts off, but just pulled them open. She was wearing a top and panties, and like we said, she had pulled her pants down, but not, and her panties down far enough just to.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, it's not even like
it's not even romantic. He's not even trying to like get consent. It's so hasty.
He's just trying to. It's fucking gross.
Oh, God Lord. It's like they're in a park and they think they're going to get caught.
That's exactly what it is. Like, I've seen, like, this is like a homeless guy and prostitute in an alley. That's
or teenager sex.
That's I had a dog and I lived in a shitty area and I walked Bernie and came across a prostitute and a homeless guy, which I'm like, you've fallen low in your prostitute game if you're fucking a homeless guy. We're fucking in an alley like that. That's exactly how it was.
God, Jesus, it's just so degrading.
Degrading.
Degrading. Gating? Degrading?
Degradation.
Degrading.
Degradation is what you're going for there. So
that's like just robbing her of dignity.
Yeah.
It's treating her like just
fucking
trash.
Disgusting.
It's so, ugh.
So she said her pants wouldn't go below the knees since she still had her what? Cowboy boots on.
Of course.
Yes. So saved by Billy Ray Cyrus a little bit. Well,
kinda.
not completely, but whatever. So she said that Oliver was on top of her for approximately 1 minute and not wearing a condom. He never touched any other part of her, and she said that he came inside of her.
Oh, my God.
Jesus Christ. Come on, man.
For a minute?
Yeah.
Jesus, bro.
Come on, dude. What the hell's going on here?
But that's how excited, that's how much he likes this.
Yeah, he's into this shit. Yeah.
That he can finish that fast.
He's into this shit. That's all. He just wanted to.
That's horrible, man.
Fucking gross, man. So neither of her friends, her sister or her friends, saw her go into the bedroom, but after she'd been gone a few minutes, they started to worry about her, and they wanted to check on her, and they started trying to go up the stairs to see if she was up there. At that point, Sue and Kelly both gave police descriptions to the police, and they said that Kelly went upstairs looking for Mary, but found all the doors closed. Charles Barkley was upstairs with four women.
Yeah.
A man named Pookie told Kelly she would have to go back downstairs, which she did.
He's too busy.
Yeah, and Pookie's like the bouncer here. A short time later, Kelly and Sue attempted to go upstairs again, but again, they were not permitted to go upstairs, which is crazy. This is like this is nuts. Mary says it was clear to her that he felt like he wasn't done with her, because she tells the police that Oliver Miller at that point asked her for her phone number while they were in the bedroom after he got dressed again. And she said that she didn't know it.
Yeah.
So I don't know my phone number.
Shit at this moment.
He said that he didn't believe her, and then she said, well, I don't call my own house. Right. She tried, which is smart. And she said that Miller became upset at this point and told her, she told him that if she went to a phone and tried dialing the number, maybe that'll help you fucking remember it. That's what she told him. Or that's what he told her. Go to a phone and try to dial it. You'll remember it, and it'll come back to you. So at that point, he took her to a phone in the bedroom and made her dial the number, and she dialed the correct number because her answering machine came on after 4 rings. When she hung up, Miller asked if she remembered the number, and she said that she did and gave him the number, which then he dialed again to make sure she wasn't lying, and he listened for a minute and then hung up the phone and just walked out without saying anything. So like he just did that shit. This is all alleged. We don't know, but allegedly did. It seems very detailed from 3 different people, and I'm having a hard time not believing them. So it's one of those things, but we don't know.
Also, that is the worst courtship ever.
Yeah.
That is violent.
And then just was like, you fucking get your phone number. Now, give me that shit. All right then, and then just left.
Like, don't be a menace to South Central, where he's like got a gun to the girl's head. He's like, give me your number, bitch.
Yeah,
like that is really awful.
Like, okay, gives it to her, and
this is real.
This is real, and worse though, because that was just, he didn't rape her first, and don't be a menace to South Central. That would have made him. That would have been crazy.
Right. That would. The Wayans couldn't put that. In the movie, that's not believable.
That's too much. Yeah. Now Sue said that there were sitting on the steps, there were 3 black men and a white female with long hair, dark lipstick, and wearing black. They were the ones sitting on the steps. Sue expressed concern about Mary to the female who was sitting there, and asked if she wanted to have her talk to Mary. And so that's what she said. She goes, will you talk to her? And so this female agreed, and she went upstairs. A short time later, the female who was on the stairs comes back with Mary in front of her. And as Mary approached them, Sue said that Mary was, quote, white as a ghost. And Mary just told them, let's get out of here. Mm-hmm. As they go to the car, Mary told them, quote, it was so horrible, I don't want to talk about it. And she refused to discuss what happened with Oliver Miller on the ride home. But once she got home, she told them what happened and said that she was afraid and didn't want to call the police. Sue was the one who dialed 911 against Mary's wishes. Yeah. She said, please don't call the police. She told police that she did not resist her rape because she said she told herself that if she ever got raped, she was going to let the person do what they wanted for fear of her life. I'm not a woman, and that scares me to know that women have to walk around with a plan of if I ever get raped.
That's crazy.
Because we don't do that.
Well,
now, as a 38-year-old man who carries a .40 caliber around, you're not going out there going, in case somebody tries to rape me, this is what I'm going to do. That never crosses my mind. No. Ever crosses my fucking mind. And that's, I guess, a form of, I don't know, I don't want to say privilege, but it's one of those things where it's like...
It's certainly a privilege.
It's that Dave Chappelle joke where Dave Chappelle talks about...
I guess that's how it feels for a woman to carry a pussy around.
That's what I mean, where he talks about walking around New York City in the early 90s with 25 grand in cash on him and feeling like, oh my God, everybody knows and they're going to rob it and holding like this thing. And he goes, that's what a woman feels like every day walking around. And I go, holy fuck. Yeah. That's exactly what it is. So the fact that she had a plan, and that doesn't seem like an abnormal thing, it makes me very depressed.
And this is back in 93.
Yeah.
This is no different than now 2019.
Yeah, people are still animals.
Has not changed.
Yeah,
That's fucking crazy.
It's fucking crazy.
It is 26 years later.
Yeah, absolutely.
Fucking
25.
horrible.
It's nuts. So she said that it was fear. Fear dictated everything she did, and she said that afterwards she was a complete basket case. She was intimidated and afraid. She said she did the best she could under the circumstances. She said all she could think about was getting through it and surviving, and that's all she was thinking about. She said that she said it was just an element of disbelief is the way it was put in the article. Is she didn't understand. She was like, is this real? Is some famous Charles Barkley going to what is happening?
The popular belief and opinion in this time and the things that I overheard listening to people recounting this, talking about it in public, the most common thing I heard was she went to a basketball player's house. What did she expect? And even because I was 12, 13 years old then, and I'm just like, what? What are they talking about?
No, it's funny because not funny, but you heard the same thing with Mike Tyson in that one, but that wasn't, do you want to go to a party?
Right.
That was a one-on-one.
Right.
Would you like to come to my hotel room with me alone? Right. And I'm not saying I know the details of that right now, or we're not going to get into that. So that's a different thing where people would be like, oh, I think she knew that was going to happen. Well, if she's naive, maybe not. But this, do you want to go to a party and you see a limo pulling up and there's a bunch of people there? You don't think, oh, they're going to be holding people down, raping them in there.
Oh, for sure I'm going to get raped in here.
You think, oh, people are going to be drinking, playing, turn around, and when you want to leave, you leave. It's an easy thing. Who thinks that? So... Yeah, she said that, quote, it comes down to the fact that I just felt safe at the party, which she did. She said it was foolish, but I mean, these people are heroes. I've seen them on TV, in the papers. They're portrayed as people to look up to. I guess the bottom line is that I just couldn't imagine that they would act the way they did. Even while it was happening, I just couldn't believe it. So... Yeah, she said that...
also, it's a nice neighborhood. It is a very comforting neighborhood. It's old money. It's people that have been there a long time.
It's quiet up there. That's a very quiet area because there's a mountain on one side.
Right behind his fucking house.
That goes for miles.
Yeah.
It's mountain preserve.
All the way over to Cave Creek.
So quiet up there. Nothing going on. It's really nice. So... I mean, they're talking about, should you believe this woman and all that? And it's like, well, she doesn't want to press charges, but she also doesn't want to sue anybody. She doesn't want any fucking money out of this. She doesn't even want her name to be released. She wants no part of this shit. Someone else called the police for her. She gave her statements, which were exactly the same as her friend's statements of the whole thing. it just seems odd that 3 women would go out, make this story up, get home, conspire together to make it up, and okay, we all have our story straight. Now call the cops, and then when they get there, you go, I don't want to press charges and I don't want any money. Right. Well, what's the fucking point then? And don't print my name. Well, what are we doing? That's what I mean. So I just don't see...
There's no benefit for her in this.
None.
Nothing.
All there is negative for her in this whole situation. So for her to do this is... Yeah, she, and people said, oh, maybe she just, she got carried away and was trying to, act like she felt bad the next morning because she did some shit she didn't want to do and blah, blah, blah. It's like, that's not call 911.
That's not how that works, man.
It's not how that works, dude. Yeah, I don't know what people are thinking, like, it's fucking crazy. So, everybody agrees on everything. Everybody agrees on the atmosphere at the house. Multiple witnesses. Everybody agrees to the warning from Barkley at the top of the steps and all that. And, like I said, you'd have to think, and it says in the article too, you'd have to imagine they got home at 3:00 in the morning and just conspired for 2 hours to get all their stories perfectly straight and then said, okay, now you call the police and I'll act like I'm hurt over here and we'll all do that's fucking hard to believe, man.
But it's certainly what those players are going to tell their wives.
Yeah, that's true. And the other thing too is that does happen also.
Absolutely.
The Duke fucking lacrosse thing happened. That girl made all that shit up. She made that shit up. I mean, there was a Michael Irvin incident too, where there's been multiple, but there was one where the girl ended up admitting she made everything up. It was nothing even happened. It was so that happens too. But this seems.
That doesn't seem plausible here.
Then the guy, the Darren Hostetler, the guy who wrote this, said then they added a special twist. Mary would feign reluctance to come forward and would at first refuse to speak with police or submit to a physical examination before finally giving in. What fucking benefit would that have? That's normal, is what that is. That's regular behavior that makes me think it's true. So the police did obtain samples and everything, which they still had the samples. The police had the samples. I don't know if they still do or not. But she says, though, to the New Times, she said she doesn't care if anybody believes her or not. She says, quote, it doesn't matter what people think. I just want it to go away. I'm a single mother. I have a family, and I just want to go to counseling and hope that God deals with him.
Good Lord.
She doesn't even want any part of it. She said that, anything. She said that, she won't press charges. She doesn't want anything to do with it. They asked her repeatedly if she would press charges, and she said no. In the police report, it said, quote, Mary told me again she did not want to prosecute and she would not testify. She said all she wanted to do was be with her kids, pray to God she did not wind up with AIDS, and put everything behind her.
Wow.
She said she also did not want me to contact any of the parties involved, and she only wanted to go home. So they said case closed at that point. Okay. Nothing they can do if she won't come forward. So she says she knows it would be difficult, if not impossible, to prove this, and just not have it be like, wasn't everybody drinking and
he said, she said, and then she gets her fucking name dragged
exactly
through the mud in public.
In public with her,
it's a big deal.
I can see her now. Yeah,
they're stars.
She says, quote, though these people are so powerful, not only in terms of the Sons organization, which has a lot of pull in the valley, but individually, they are big people physically. And if this gets out, if too much attention is paid to this, they could hurt me again. And anyway, I'm not a well person. I don't think I could hold up under the pressure of a trial. And she says that, it was just, she never thought that anything that goes on in this house doesn't leave this house meant that was consent to be raped. Yeah.
Right.
That meant like, hey, if you see somebody doing a line of coke, you don't fucking go call the newspaper. Right. That's what I would have taken that as.
Yeah.
Hey, fucking, don't be.
There might be some illegal activity.
Yeah, you're around some famous people. Be cool is what I would take that as.
The one thing that's almost worse than murder.
Yeah, pretty fucking close. So she says, "quote I just couldn't go to trial against people that think like that and come out a loser. I mean, you have to understand. I already feel like I'm a loser. So this is fucking horrible.
Only of dignity, you poor thing.
Terrible.
Oh, God,
fucking terrible. So that happens. That happens in May, and it comes out right after that. Yeah. So tough summer for Oliver with this whole thing looming. And at this point, the Colangelos are not thrilled with him at all now, because this no stories, none of that shit flies here for a
he's depression
player.
Eating.
Yeah, he's sadness eating. So August 1994, something even weirder happens.
What is that?
Okay, this is crazy. They found the body of Emmett Allen in his office on August 9th, 1994.
Oliver Miller's office?
No. In Emmett Allen's office.
Okay.
Oliver Miller's uncle is Emmett Allen.
Okay,
it's his father's brother. So 3 days later, his father, Oliver Miller Sr., goes to a Fort Worth local television station to talk to a reporter and confesses that he is the one who shot Emmett Allen 3 times.
What the fuck is going on?
To a newspaper reporter, because Mr. Allen was stealing his property, is what he said.
Wow.
He later says that in order to steal the property, Emmett Allen was conspiring with members of the federal government, members of the Tarrant County government, attorneys, bankers, insurance companies, utility companies, and even members of his own family, of Oliver Miller Sr.'s own family, to steal from him. Everybody from the president to his mom is involved, and they all want to steal from him. That's the problem.
Yeah.
He's out of his fucking mind.
Yeah.
He's lost his shit. He testifies and says to them that he armed himself with a Colt 45 in his belt, walked into Mr. Allen's office for a confrontation, and Mr. Allen became hostile. And he says that a senior says that he'd been that Mr. Allen was standing, and but because he'd moved toward a desk where Oliver Senior thought a gun might have been kept, he said that at that point he pushed Emmett Allen down, drew his pistol, and shot him.
My God!
So he throws him to the ground and shoots him in his own office. He tells the police that he acted in self-defense. Even though he knew, he said he knew it was wrong to shoot someone with a 45 caliber pistol, and that could hurt a person. He know that could kill somebody, but he did it anyway. He is pleading insanity to this whole thing. The conspiracy, the vast conspiracy to steal his land is fucking bonkers. So a bunch. He's examined a lot. There's evidence of delusional behavior.
Sure.
This is the type of behavior that you actually get off on shit for, because you literally think
you literally think it's a different situation than it really is.
You think your mom and the president are trying to conspire against you, and you think that people have guns when they don't, and you think things like that.
It's legit crazy. Yeah.
This is crazy, cuckoo, fucking bonker time.
This is rubbing your lips and
dressed like Napoleon, walking around in circles. This is crazy time. So this isn't like I have a little problem and I need to talk to somebody.
This is straight jackets bouncing off rubber walls.
This is So anyway, they say that he was suffering from delusional disorder, which was 3 different experts' opinion at trial, which sounds right to me. It says in the law here, an affirmative defense to prosecution is available to a person who commits a criminal offense without knowing that the conduct is wrong because of severe mental disease or defect. That's the Texas law in this whole thing. He said he knew it was wrong to shoot someone with a 45 and knew that could kill somebody, but these doctors, Dr. Mark Cunningham and Dr. Sven Helge, Jesus, Sven Helge, they both said that because of the disease, that Oliver Sr. did not understand that killing Mr. Allen was wrong. The court appointed expert here said that even with the mental illness, which she agrees that he had a mental illness, he still knew it was wrong. So he also claims self-defense in here also. So, which is very strange. It's
all right.
He claims self-defense, saying that he thought the guy was going for a gun. Whereas in Texas, if somebody scratches their ass, you're allowed to shoot them because he could have been going for a gun.
Could have been one up there.
And he was on my property.
Listen. They make that holster.
Anything on my property, I'm allowed to shoot, right? I think that's the law in Texas. By the way, we'll be in Dallas and Houston. We won't be on anyone's property, we promise. So, he said that he testifies even in court that he did not see a gun in Emmett Allen's possession, and there's no evidence that any weapon was there in the office other than the pistol that he himself brought to shoot Mr. Allen. On direct examination, he told the jury that he confronted Mr. Allen after he loaded himself with the gun. He said he held it in the back of his belt, like Eddie Murphy in Beverly Hills Cop. He said, quote, "As I was trying to leave out, he made a break to his desk, and I thought he was trying to get a gun. I pushed him down in his seat. He sort of slid back to the window, and he was coming up. That's when I come out with the gun and shoot him." Okay. That's what he says. So he said that he never saw him with a gun of his own. Oliver Sr.'s daughter, who is Oliver Miller's sister, she's in college at this point. She testified that Oliver Sr. told her he shot Mr. Allen because Mr. Allen laughed at him.
Oh boy!
So he is in
Yeah.
La la, crazy land at this point.
It's over for him.
Yeah, so the instruction that they asked the judge to give would be that basically they asked to give it an instruction to the jury, and it would have been an improper comment that they couldn't make. So he delusionally believed in what they're telling the jury, that he was in apparent danger of death or serious bodily injury. He thought he had some deadly weapon available, blah, blah, blah. So he ends up being indicted, and then the jury ends up saying, we don't think you're that crazy. And it's not self-defense, guilty of murder, which is crazy.
In Texas.
And you, sir, this is Dad, but we'll still give it to him because they have the same name. Yeah. He named his kid Junior and caused this whole thing. Right. So you, sir, may fuck off 30 years in prison.
My word.
Yikes. Yeah. That's a tough one. So, now a couple months later, late August 1994, the police are called to Oliver Jr.'s house. Yeah. To our Oliver here. They're called to his house for the charge that he grabbed his wife, Christina, around the neck and choked her.
Yeah, that sounds right.
That's what it was here, and they get divorced shortly after this. It was during a domestic quarrel, as they called it here. She apparently accused him of, quote, acting just like your father.
Oh, boy.
Who had just murdered his uncle.
Say that.
And that's a bad thing.
No.
Especially if your dad, because it's because of the kid. And they're saying you're going out just like your dad left around. She's saying you're acting just like your dad, which will make anybody fly off the handle. Yeah. But the problem is you can't choke people.
No.
That's not okay.
No, you get to tell her, get out, bitch.
You get to tell her anything you want. You don't get to hit anything. So, so he ends up, it says that he choked her, and he says that no charges end up being filed though, because there was no marks. Didn't apparently choke her hard enough. Right. I feel like nowadays there would have been.
They'll find some.
He probably would have. He probably would have went to jail.
What year is this?
94.
Yeah.
Different laws domestically. Yeah. He says, quote, I just don't understand how they can say I'm a bad character. That's what he tells the press after this whole thing.
You don't remember CZ's house, bro?
Yeah, come on. Then he says, whoa. He says this to the police because they're asking him, are you going to be coming back to Phoenix to play again next year, blah, blah, blah. He says, quote, if Jesus himself walked into Phoenix again, the people would probably crucify him or throw him in a dungeon.
Whoa. He thinks he's the same as Jesus.
He just compared himself to Jesus because someone said he raped them and then choked his wife. And then his dad shot his uncle. And these are all things that in the press.
Samesies.
Yeah. He's got a touch of the Ibiabuchi in him with this fucking family. So the Suns, he's a restricted free agent, which usually means your team will scoop you right up. They go, you know what? We're going to let you go. You could go ahead and be a free agent. We don't need you. You're good. Because of his weight ballooning, general issues, rape accusations, domestic violence act. These things follow you. Yeah. So September 6, 1994, he signed with the Pistons. And this is a funny fucking story. That. Yeah, he signs with the Pistons. It's often told, basically, he apparently used to weigh 290 on the Suns scale. But apparently, when he returned from a road trip, they got a new scale, and he got on the scale, and it said 323.
Yeah,
and so the Suns management suspected that he must have been cheating the old scale.
Yeah. And he knew how to dial it back.
He said the story I heard was he'd been standing on his toes. It's still the same weight. Yeah, you could be holding on to something.
Depends on where the sensor is. If you're leaning like
this dude must know.
He must know exactly where it is.
He must do a lot of scale work.
He's good at this.
Jesus Christ. He said that it was bullshit and it was slander. He says, "Isn't this ridiculous? How am I going to trick a scale?" So he gets to Detroit, and they send him to food rehab, is what they called it.
Really?
Yeah. Go learn how to not be so fat.
Weight Watchers or Jenny Craig?
Pretty much. Yeah. This was like an in-pay, this is hardcore. Really? This isn't, lose 8, 10 pounds.
Somebody yelling at him when he has another nibble.
This is lose a fourth grader worth of weight off of your body, please. And he loses 40 pounds.
Wow.
Not bad. Coaches says they're not going to break his balls about weight, though. They said, look, we're not going to that's got to wear on you mentally, having to weigh in every day. And he's one of those guys where it's like sometimes pitchers are good fat in baseball. He's a good fat player. It just is. And he says, quote, I've always been athletic for my size. Me and my cousins would go to the country to my grandma's in Teague, Texas, and we'd have our own Olympics. 100-yard dash, hurdle old tires. My cousins were smaller than me, but I'd catch them. And then he goes on to say that he hopes he plays in the next Olympics. He wants to be on the third dream team.
He thinks that's an Olympic body, huh?
Yes, that's an Olympic body.
Okay.
He said they've already used up Alonzo Mourning, Dave Robinson, all the really great centers. They should be getting around to me for Dream Team 3. Or 8 or 9. No,
all the really great ones? No, there's like 15, 20 in the league.
And then there's me, too, because I'm here. And
once they get to the bench...
Mark West says it a different way. They asked Mark West about that and his potential, and Mark West says, quote, as Charles Barkley used to say, O could be an all-star if he learned 2 words. I'm full. That's it right there. 94-95, he plays 64 games in Detroit, averages 8.5 points a game, makes $1,540,000.
Wow.
That's something.
Yeah.
But June 24th, 1995, he's left unprotected in the expansion draft.
Right.
For the 2 expansion
That's
teams
when he
there.
went to Toronto.
Toronto. B.J. Armstrong, number 1 in the expansion draft, by the way.
Really?
Bulls point guard. Yeah, it's not a lot of... It's whoever you leave unprotected.
Got it.
So it's a bunch of B.J. Armstrong, Greg Anthony, Tony Massenberg, Antonio Harvey, Keith Jennings, Reggie Slater. These aren't lighting the world on fire here. Ed Pickney's about the Gerald Wilkins.
Right.
Benoit Benjamin. And finally, 27, the last pick is Oliver Miller.
Really?
Picked up by the Raptors from the Pistons. So, he goes there. December 5th, 1995, he has a couple of good games, actually. He has 20 points and 11 boards and 6 blocks versus the 76ers. He's got a 29-point game versus the Heat. And in one game, he is hacked pretty hard by Sean Kemp, and they don't give him a call because Kemp is a star.
Yeah.
So there's no foul. So he flips the fuck out, lost his mind, is ejected by the referee, and that's when he started threatening referees and went over and tried to throw a chair onto the court like Bobby Knight, but was fucking tackled by all his teammates and coaches. Were like, what the fuck are you doing? You can't do that.
You're not good enough for this behavior.
Stop. You're not Charles Barkley. So, he ended up, nothing came of that. He does average 12.9 points a game that year in 33.1 minutes. So that's a real center. 7.4 rebounds, 2.9 assists. Not the best, but it's coming together. $2,372,000
in Toronto.
Not too shabby.
That's a lot of beaver bucks.
That's not bad. July 23rd, 96, he's released by the Raptors. So they've had enough here. So October 17th.
Canadians are nice. We don't throw chairs.
It's just not gonna. You're a little nuts. Plus, he's getting big at this point too. This is when when he was on the Raptors. It's silly. He's wearing that cartoony uniform.
Yeah, that was a really big dinosaur on his chest.
He looks silly looking, man. So he signs with the Mavericks in October 96.
Really?
Signs there. A friend of his who grew up with him said, quote, everywhere he's gone, there's been this cloud over him. This could be his last stop. That's what I told him. This is home. You can't mess up home. Don't fuck up, Oliver, is what they say. He literally sat him down and go, don't fuck this up. You're in your fucking house, for Christ's sake.
So where you were raised, man.
Oh my God. Fucking ridiculous. So, 1996, 1997 with Dallas, he plays in 42 games, doesn't start any, 19.9 minutes a game, and February 7th, still in the season, he is waived by the Mavericks.
Wow.
So, no thank you there. February 13th, a week later, he signs a contract for the rest of the season with the Toronto Raptors.
They took him back?
Yeah, cheaper now, though. So that's what it is. He plays 19 games with Toronto. He makes $247,500 this year.
That's great for 19 games.
We'll take it. Not too shabby. Well, he played in the beginning of the year, too.
Okay.
42 games.
Okay.
It's just a mess.
Not great.
No. 1997 is his dad's appeal. His dad's appeal, and the appeal presents 2 points that the trial court erred by denying his requested charge on insane delusion to the jury, and the trial court erred by denying his right to confront a state's witness by releasing the witness over an objection during the punishment phase of the trial. After everything, it is found no error, and it's affirmed, the judgment, But there's a dissenting opinion on this, and they go into some interesting shit here into this. And this judge's dissenting opinion says that apparently Miller Sr. had seen Emmett Allen with a gun the day before the shooting. When Allen traveled around Miller, they said he usually had a gun. So he had great reason to believe that he would have an accessible gun, this Emmett Allen. Miller knew Allen had a gun, had seen Allen's gun, a revolver, 4 or 5 times before that day. Plus, he had seen it the day before the shooting. Sometimes Allen kept it in his file cabinet, sometimes in his desk drawer. They didn't bring that up. They said when questioned about taking the gun to his office, Miller testified, well, I thought about it a while, because I remember a while back, Mr. Allen went to a fellow's office and jumped on him and whipped him and threatened to go home and get a gun. I think it was back in 91. He went to this fellow's office and, jumped on him for some reason, and I think he had also threatened to get a gun. He also testified to conversations he had with Allen before that, where Allen had told him that he, quote, whooped someone's ass. And another time, he said that he threatened to whip people's asses and that he'd heard him threaten to go get his gun and kill people on multiple occasions.
So he's kind of a bad dude.
Yeah, this Allen's a bad dude. Now, Miller says that he went to Allen's office because he was stealing his stuff, and he thought he should take his gun since Allen had stole his stuff, and now he has a gun. And they asked about his intentions. He said, well, just in case. I had one, so, protection, which that's what they're for there. So he said Miller said that he asked Allen if he had those deeds that he's saying he stole. Allen said he didn't, and all of a sudden Allen started getting hostile and talking loud and cursing. Now, Mr. Miller here said that when he was trying to leave, like we said, he made a break and he ended up shooting him. He said that he realized killing someone was wrong. He said, quote, well, I was protecting myself. I was sort of protecting myself. I'm claiming I thought he was going for a pistol. That's basically the way it worked. He said he just snapped. The pressure just come, when he make a break for the desk drawer, and the pressure just overwhelmed, is what he told the psychiatrist as well. Even the court appointed psychiatrists thought that he was suffering from a delusional thought disorder on the day of the crimes, and that's what caused the death of Emmett Allen. Basically, this judge says even if he's delusional, even if the guy doesn't have a gun,
he's still going to shoot him.
They said that makes no difference if this man thought he had a gun. That's all that they have to prove, is that he's delusional enough to think he's under attack to be self-defending. That's all they were looking to prove. And this judge, who's the dissenting opinion, says they thought he did prove that he's crazy. He proved that he's a fucking nut. He said, quote, I think Miller felt himself to be in very much danger. I don't think that Miller knew his conduct was wrong at the time of the offense because he thought he was acting in self-defense. Fair enough. So November 30th, 1997, Oliver Miller Jr. signs with the Raptors again.
God, Jesus, how many times did he play for them?
Back and forth. 97. Ridiculous. All these silly. He's getting bigger and bigger. They're like, what size uniform this time, Ollie? Shit, that dinosaur ain't gonna hold on.
We're gonna staple two together.
Oof. So 64 games there, 6.3 points per game, so nothing terrific. Early 1999, he does not play for an NBA team there after the strike and everything. He plays for Iraklio OOABC, which is a Greek team. He goes to play in Greece. It's in Crete, Greece, and he goes to play there. February 1st, 1999, after the strike, he signs as a free agent with the Sacramento Kings. Plays in 4 games, 2.5 points a game for Sacramento there, and makes $600,000.
That's a great deal.
That's terrific. Holy shit. I'll do that all day.
Absolutely.
August 1st, 1999, released by the Kings. August 1st, 1999, signed by the Suns. We have to have him. We have to have him.
We got to keep him around.
We have no centers, literally. For the Suns, he plays in 51 games, 21 minutes a game, 6.3 points a game, 1.6 blocks, 5.1 rebounds, $510,000. So,
this is the time in his life when he was living with my ex-girlfriend's sister.
Oh, Jesus.
In a shit little apartment that Mike Tyson owned in Scottsdale. God. And Oliver Miller sat down to take a shit and broke the toilet seat. He went out and bought a new toilet seat and then just set it on top of the broken one because he doesn't know how to fix it. He has no fucking clue how to live life. He was just like, well, that one's broken. Here we go. this ought to do, and he just set it there.
Just sat on top of that, sliding around and shit, falling off. Jesus Christ.
Unfucking real.
I just hold on to the towel rack while I do it. It's fine. So 2000-2001, he goes and plays a few games for the Harlem Globetrotters.
Oh, no.
Which is fucking insane. Look how fat he is.
Yeah.
Hey, he can spin the ball. This guy can wrap it around. He can do a trick, make it go up his arm and down, and he's fat. The trickery of the Globetrotters. Woo.
Metalwork's going to use a lot of confetti to cover him out of the bucket.
It's going to take all around him.
Yeah.
It's a couple of laps. So then he goes and plays in Poland for some shit I am not even going to...
It doesn't matter.
There is Z's, N's, C's, and Z's all together with no vowels. I'm not even going to get in there. Goes to Polish. Goes to Poland, plays for a good Polish team. Comes back, plays a little more for the Globetrotters. He is released from the Globetrotters for showing, quote, no appreciation for what it takes mentally and physically to be a Harlem Globetrotter.
Or any other basketball team.
In other words, you're a fat fuck. We don't want you. So 2001.
He's fat shamed his whole life by basketball teams.
2001-2002, he signs with Italy, a team in Italy, but he doesn't play there. He ends up playing for the CBA, the Continental, not Canadian, Basketball Association. Plays for the Gary Steelheads, and then he goes to the ABA here, the Southern California Surf, who we've had guys play there, and the USBL also, the Dodge City Legend.
Ooh, no.
All these little shit leagues.
Oh, that's sad.
In 2002, he's traded. He returns to the Steelheads of the CBA and then is traded to the Dakota Wizards in February of 2003. In 2003, he leads the CBA in blocks.
Yeah.
Because he's just has long arms. That was without moving his feet, so that's pretty impressive. So 2003, he goes and plays for a Chinese team, the Fujian Zwingzing. I don't know what the fuck that is. Some damn Chinese team owned by a zipper science and technology company.
Oh, they can't say that.
I think they make zippers.
I get it, but no. Asians don't know.
Yeah, I think they're allowed to make zippers if they want.
I'm not saying that part of it. They make things that fasten jeans.
You just can't wear them as hats, that's all. So he then goes... Sorry. He then goes and plays for a team in Puerto Rico for a while.
Yeah.
And then he's finally, December 13th, 2003, signs with the Timberwolves.
What?
The fucking NBA team
What
on
are they
him.
doing?
He led the CBA in blocks. He plays 48 games for the Timberwolves, 10.5 minutes a game, only 2.5 points a game.
Yeah.
2.7 rebound. No, he's not doing anything.
He made $30.
He made $686,838 for those 48 games.
Wow.
Not too shabby. And that's the end of his career.
Is that enough?
493 games, 7.4 points a game, 5.9 rebounds, 2.2 assists, 1.5 blocks, $7,145,338. And on the Basketball Reference, it has your Hall of Fame probability. 0.0%. No. He then returns to the Dakota Wizards in October of 2004. Then he plays with the Texas Tycoons after that of the ABA. Then he goes to play for the Arkansas Rimrockers.
Oh, yeah.
You know them. I mean, that was Arkansas Rimrockers. Then he plays the next season for the Arkansas River Cats with a Z.
Yeah.
Because that's cool.
The Rimrockers as an S?
That's an S, though, the Rimrockers. But the River Cats, that's fucking cool. Yeah. 2010, Jesus Christ, he signed to the Lawton Fort Still Cavalry of the Premier Basketball League.
Wow.
He signed on March 15th, and he's finally released in December
Lawton, where
of 2010.
is that?
I have no clue.
Is that New
Lawton
Hampshire?
Fort Still Cavalry? No, fuck. Lawton Fort Still? I'm assuming Texas, maybe?
LOU?
LAWTON.
Got it.
I assume it's Arkansas, Texas. Yeah, one of those home places. Why else would you play there?
Oklahoma, baby.
There you go.
Yep.
There you go.
My God.
April 2011, he's at a family barbecue with his girlfriend, her family, in Edgewater, Maryland here. And apparently Miller and his girlfriend's brother get into an argument that results in Miller repeatedly pistol whipping him.
What? That is not where I saw that going.
Oh, yeah, no. He whipped his gun out and repeatedly pistol whipped his girlfriend's brother at a family barbecue. in April. This is not okay.
Awesome.
It's finally warm out. You don't pistol whip people. What's wrong with you? It took 11 staples to close his wounds on his head.
Wow, he beat the shit out
Repeatedly
of him.
pistol whip. You're giant.
My
Just throw
Christ.
him. They don't know exactly what happened, but it was at...
we know enough.
It was
repeatedly pistol whipped him.
It was at his house. Everybody was drinking, partying. It was a cookout, barbecue. Jason Worley was his name. That was his girlfriend's brother. And apparently there was some kind of argument. And before you know it, Oliver was going to his car, getting his gun, and beating the shit out of this man
Where
with
are
it.
the Utz chips?
Fuck. I hate this macaroni salad. Bang. So, Deputy State's Attorney Thomas Fleckenstein said Miller was, quote, seen beating Worley in the street outside his home. I don't know. Whenever someone's being seen beating someone in the street, it makes it funnier because you're announcing it to everybody. I don't give a fuck who knows that I'm beating this person.
I'm doing this.
I'm doing it publicly. This is not a private matter. Anyone who wants to get a kick, go into it. 11 staples in his head. He hits him with a pistol and then hops in his 2003 BMW and takes off in 2011. So he's driving an 8-year-old car.
Beamer.
It was nice at the time.
Yeah.
So he's fucking, what do you do if you're this guy at this point? What the fuck?
Oh, it's depressing.
He flees in his Beamer. He drives. He's looking for food because he's hungry.
He's starving.
I ate like 2 hours ago at that barbecue and that pistol whipping. That was some activity.
Yeah.
He doesn't know what to do. He's driving through this neighborhood. He's driving through a neighborhood and he smells food.
Yeah.
He smells food and he's like, this smells good. Where is this coming from? He's got a special thing.
Yeah.
He's like one of those cartoon, like the way they would follow a cartoon
you can
pie.
see the smoke.
And you float
You
through
see
the
the
air
scent.
with your nose. You don't even have to walk to it. You float there. That's what he does generally.
Yeah.
It's an interesting talent. So he does it and he comes to this one house and he smells something. He goes, damn, this shit's good in there. He goes, fuck, I mean, I'm Oliver Miller. Maybe I could get some.
Maybe they'll let me in.
Maybe they'll let me in. Maybe I could do it. As he heads up the steps, before he gets to the front door, a tiny woman bursts from the door, and it's my grandma. And she says, Ma, how is it you've come to arrive here? Ma, why are you so fat? Ma, how are you so fat? Ma, you so fat. Look, I'd like to feed you, and I have the food you come in and eat, but I hear what you do, and I say, no, you could come in my house, and I don't know. You know, I do not wear the button fly, so you cannot know. You're too fat for me. Why? You're so fat. Oh,
Yeah.
my poor young man. You're gonna have the attack in your heart. You can. Ma, you know, you can't do that.
The attack on your
Ma, you
heart.
can't do that. Poof, and then she's gone, and he's very upset because he's hungry. And so he turns around, goes back to the barbecue, and is arrested.
He was hoping for a bucket of spaghetti.
He said, y'all got any buckets of anything in there?
He had a bucket of lasagna.
Anything? So November of 2011, he pleads guilty to charges of first-degree assault and carrying a handgun, both of which not okay in the state of Maryland. Sentencing is set for December. Guidelines call for him to spend as many as 9 years in prison over this. But he has a non-violent criminal record because that other shit charges weren't filed on the other two. So they're saying it's probably not going to be that much. December 2011, he's living with his girlfriend. This is sentencing. He's living with his girlfriend, not her brother, I assume, in Edgewater. He pleaded guilty, like we said. He says to the judge, I apologize for the wrong I've done. He said that he was just a man protecting the people I love from their own brother.
I was hangry.
I was hangry. You know how that gets. Yo, my bucket was empty. What the fuck you want? But speaking of that, is there a bailiff? Because I got like 2 sandwiches left. So the judge says, I understand that. And you, sir, may fuck off. 5 years in prison.
Wow.
But suspends all but one.
Oh,
suspends
so
4 and recommends work release for him after a year.
Throws him a Snickers and says, you're crazy
there
when you're
you go.
hungry.
That's what happens. You know it. 4 years probation also in place of that. He'll be on probation there. His girlfriend said she would help him look for a job because he's an idiot. His lawyer says that Miller hopes to return to Arizona where he has family and would ask the judge to amend the probation judgment saying that he can do that. August 2012, he moves to the Phoenix Mesa area over there.
Where he gets a job.
Selling cars.
You betcha.
Oliver Miller selling cars.
I remember that from another episode.
Yep. That was one of those. He's Richard Dumas.
Yes.
Dumas tried to go there too,
Right.
and they were like, he couldn't hang. Right. So Oliver Miller sells cars for former player Alvin Heggs, who was like a European league, and he played college ball, didn't really make it in the NBA, but he owns a car dealership, which is more than Oliver's got going for him.
Yeah.
So Oliver's there selling cars. Just
Jesus.
You can't miss him out on the lot. I'll say that much. Jesus Christ. Apparently, he's the GM, Heggs, for Heggs CJDR, which is a car dealership here somewhere in Phoenix. So I think it's in Mesa. August 2016, the Fort Worth Police Department announces, it's a good thing, actually, the launch of a program called Code True USA and the Junior NBA Leadership Academy. It says, quote, former NBA great Oliver Miller, let's take it down a notch.
Careful.
And a police officer, members of the department, blah, 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 blah. They will be basically helping kids and all that type of shit, mentoring kids. He says, quote, Code True simply means that it's up to you to be true to your conscience, true to your country, and true to your community, is what Oliver Miller says. He says,
oh, poor Mary.
Yeah, no shit, dude. And then he's trying to get together some nonprofit organization to help help kids play ball. He said he's calling it FIRM. He says our friends always called ourselves Firm. Yeah, I was waiting for that.
Oliver be firm.
Never be firm or hard or long or fucking forceful or
rape.
What'd you call him? Rape?
Well, I just called him rape. I don't know what happened.
How'd you call your organization rape?
No, he says he's ready to jump in.
Ready and personally
right into the deep end. He's not messing around. He dipped his toe in the waters and he's felt the wetness and he's ready to jump into the deep end. So he says about this.
Oh, Jesus.
Trying to help kids. He said, we're a nonprofit organization. We're just trying to do whatever's possible for these young men. Last year we had a semi-pro team and we won our division and got to the championship and I got coach of the year. We've got too much talent in Fort Worth. That's why me and my organization, we do AAU for the kids that don't have a chance to make it to Texas Elite.
Yeah, my organization and I. Go on.
Please, are you kidding me? He can't install a toilet seat. You expect him to know English?
Right.
So 2016, he's inducted into the University of Arkansas Sports Hall of Honor.
What the fuck?
Yeah. He said, this is in a speech, quote, they said I was the second most beloved person in Arkansas behind Bill Clinton back then. He said, that might be true. He said, although most NBA fans know him as, quote, the fattest NBA player ever, I want them to know I was also a very skilled basketball player and very fat.
Yeah.
And I will say this. He has mocked his whole career and his whole life for his fatness, and that sucks. Nobody wants to feel...
His kids had to see
it. His kids, I mean, I feel bad for them. You do. Not nearly as bad as I feel.
Yeah.
For Oliver Miller, Regulatory Supervision Director and Regional Manager for EU Advisory Compliance at S&P Global Ratings in London. That sounds important.
Yeah.
Oliver Miller, Director of Strategy and Analytics at Nashville Soccer Club. Oliver Miller, long haul pilot at Norwegian Long Haul in London. So he's a fucking pilot that flies freight in London. Oliver Miller, scientist at Fujifilm in the UK. Definitely not our guy. And finally, Dr. Oliver Miller, MD.
Are we sure he didn't get his doctorate?
This one.
His doctorate on after basketball?
He's a dermatologist.
Nope, not
him. In Danville, Pennsylvania. So don't hold that against Dr. Miller in Danville, Pennsylvania. January 2017, selected as an SEC basketball legend, or whatever that is. August 2018, he says... Now he wants to make a change with his weight.
Yeah.
He's coming out. He said, after moving back to Phoenix, he said he knew it was time to make a change. It's time. He said, I wanted to live long because I have grandkids now.
Oh, God.
Holy shit. He said, I want to be able to see them graduate, see them grow up. I want to be able to see them become good young kids. When I heard about Armin Gilliam, he died, and Duckworth and Mason died, Cliff Rozier, and when I hear about all these guys that I played with and against dying, it scared me. The one hurt me the most was Sean Rooks. When I heard him pass, I'm like, man, because we were the same age, came up the same year, and that scared the hell out of me. His family has a history of diabetes and high blood pressure, so he thinks it's time to make a change. Says once you see yourself in the mirror and you get tired of looking at what you're looking at, then it's up to you to make a change. He says he diets and walks. He says I walk 30 to 35 minutes. Sometimes I go an hour and 15. Let's just keep going a couple more blocks, depending on how I feel. He says it's not always easy. I still have a weakness for French fries. No shit.
Who doesn't, man?
Yeah.
Great.
He says he's lost about 60 pounds and can fit into his son's rookie jersey.
What?
Not bad. He says I use my NBA jerseys as motivation. He says he wants to motivate others to do the same.
And car covers and
you know how it goes. He says I am available. You can reach out to biiiig at gmail.com. Okay. That's his email address. If you need me to come out and speak for motivation or anything, I'm available. I'm always saying to be better, I'm always saying to do better, you have to do, to be better, you have to do better. So why not? Okay.
Yeah.
Can't get enough Oliver Miller? You can get all sorts of Oliver Miller shit. Get they have a knockoff Suns number 25 on eBay for $30 or $40, $39.99. All sorts of autographs and crap. You can find Oliver Miller. Not that you want it. Buy a jersey. Buy it in 7XL to make it fucking, genuine though. You don't want it to be not official. Get like a 7XL. That's Oliver Miller, everybody.
Yeah. That
is a crazy ass case of holy shit. See what I mean? Like we had the last few were so full of crime.
Yeah.
Like this one, this is a couple of weird things, and he's just a weird guy.
It's a lot.
To pistol whip your brother-in-law and your future brother-in-law is hilarious. I don't know. That's just funny.
I'm really amazed. Just going from the 90s to today. If that happens today, there is an investigation.
Oh, it's huge.
No matter what she says.
Huge.
And that player doesn't play again.
No, or they're at least going to be...
There's a black cloud over them for a long time.
A black cloud until they're legally cleared. Right. It's going to be a thing.
Earning potential drops massively.
Big time. But then it wasn't the same. It was like, well, that's bitches be asking for it. That's what it was. Bitches are asking for it. They go back. They're all looking for money.
All looking to get pregnant and have a baby and
that's what it was.
Hold them on the hook for child support.
Yeah, that's what it was.
That's crazy talk.
So, I mean, whatever. It's fucking
happens,
nuts. It happens, and it's whatever. But the whole thing's fucked up. But that's Oliver Miller. That's Crime in Sports. If you like that, you can tell us about it super easily by going to iTunes, Apple Podcasts, that damn purple icon. Yeah. Give us 5 stars. It doesn't matter what you say. Just write the review. Give us 5 stars. Say whatever you want. Say you're following instructions or directions. It's not for our egos. We promise you it is just for business purposes. It really helps drive us up the charts for some reason, and we don't know why. But thank you for everybody that does it. Also, go to shutupandgivememurder.com for all of your small town murder needs and crime and sports needs, all of your shirts and mugs and shower curtains and tickets to live shows. October 19th, Phoenix, Arizona, CB Live. Get your asses down there. Those tickets, from what we understand, are selling excessively fast.
Yes.
And it's a small venue.
It is.
It's a new venue. Right. I think there's 300-something seats in it.
It's not a lot.
It's not our usual venue. Right. So it's a small place. It's going to fill up pretty quick. So get your damn tickets right now, or else risk not getting them. And that would suck.
That's not positive.
We want to rock that shit out. We're going to have a blast with that. So get on the website, do all of that, buy tickets, do that stuff. Follow us on social media. That's something you can do, at Crime and Sports on Twitter and Facebook. And we are at Small Town Murder on Instagram. And if you want to be one of our heroes, one of our people that we just could not do the damn show without, that make the show go. And we want to thank all these Patreon people and all the PayPal people, because
this doesn't happen without you.
No, and it really doesn't. And you're not obligated to do it. That's
No.
the thing. We're not going to be like, you need to have this amount, or we're not going to fucking do the show.
We are not that asshole.
We're not that asshole.
No.
It's just a matter of, like, put it this way. The lady across the street from us, she makes amazing cookies.
Yeah.
Sarah will post them on the Instagram. She's like, they're professional. She's
legit at it.
No, yeah, she says a business. This isn't like some lady making cookies. They're beautiful.
Yeah.
The way the frost.
We've had some given to us at live shows.
They're crazy.
That caliber. They're insanely artistic.
She, the other day for 4th of July, just said, I have I have extra 4th of July cookies. Would you like them? And she came over and just gave Sarah 30 of these cookies. It's $100 worth of cookies at least, like in this thing. And she didn't want anything for them, but we just sent her money anyway because we were like, that was really nice of her, and it's not required, but it was really nice that I like these cookies and she gave her these cookies, so we're going to send her money because that's how human beings are, and that's how these people are with us. So if you don't want to, you don't need to. But these people just are like, you know what? I get a lot of content. Fuck it. I'm going to send these guys a few bucks. So thank you so much for that. And let's hear about this list of producers and where you can do that quickly too. You can do that at, patreon.com/crimeinsports or PayPal. crimeinsports@gmail.com.
That's the one.
You get to both of those places right from shutupandgivememurder.com.
There you
go. Right from the link, damn it. That said, let us hear from these people, our favorite people, the people that keep the show going. Let us praise them from the hills.
This week's executive producers are Joy Nix, Justin Miller, Rice Kamen,
Rice?
Rise, W-R-H-Y-S.
Oh, yeah, okay, yeah. Right.
He donated twice both
Thank
ways.
you.
And like,
Reese?
an unbelievably, I think it's Rise, because there's Rise Darby, who's a comedian.
Yeah, that's right, yeah. I thought he was Reese, too.
I think it's Rise. I'm pretty sure it's Rise.
Either way,
it's
calling him the wrong name.
Unbelievably nice donation both ways. So
thank you so much. And sorry we don't know your name.
Joy Nix, or Mix, I think it's Nix. No, that's definitely Mix. She donated for Happy Birthday Christy with an I.
Happy birthday,
Christy. And Jana Gilbertson, it's also her birthday, so happy birthday. Gabrielle Grant, Clay Thorson, Jordan Bennett up in Canada, and Kelly Walsh. Thank you all so much.
Guys.
You guys really went out of your way and were very, very nice to us. Thank you.
Thank you.
The other producers this week are Sonny Johansson, Ashley Vio, Peter McMahon, Carl Doyle, John Sardo, Luna Alvarez, Thomas Smith, Michael Muiz, and he binged in 6 months all of Crime and Sports. Unbelievable.
Wow, cool.
Brendan Abels, Don Dickman, Lisa with no last name, Megan Wick, Christine Radcliffe. I think it's Radcliffe. You all right, Joey?
It's all right. My son's in here for shout-outs. Say here. We got to say hello.
Say hello, Joey.
Say hello.
Hi.
There you go.
That's
Perfect.
my son there. He says hello.
We also have Brendan Abels, Don Dickman, Lisa with no last name, Megan Wick, Christine Radcliffe, Cassie Harris, Jesse Hartman, Krista Walker, Patricia Durand, Matt Kerr, Kimberly Litfin, and that was she donated for happy birthday to Matt Youngblood, which is that's a tough last name.
That is. Happy birthday.
Aaron Boulay, James Martyr, Jolene Steptoe, Peyton Meadows, Jason Fuller, and tell your son,
Jason Fuller.
Tell your son to stay the path, man. I really hope you guys get to see your son or your grandson again.
Definitely.
Good luck. Sean Bridgman, Reagan Shalkley, in memory of Bo Patterson, who was 20 years old and died of muscular dystrophy.
Christ.
Fucking brutal.
That's horrible.
Go look up muscular dystrophy and see their life expectancy, and if you can't donate to them, it's a terrible, terrible disease.
It is.
Bill Szynski, Leslie Woodruff, Mark Foster, Tyler Gwill, Artis S., Algina Huber, John and Sydney, Emmanuel Christian, Pat Fox Leonard, yes. Shauna with no last name. Lauren Demarath, Sulam and Jen Chevallard, Debbie Kay, Keith Cole, Kelly Griffin, Jonathan Turchich, Larry Butterfass, which is maybe my favorite last name.
That's a good last name.
It might be Butterfoss. It's just one S. I like Butterfass.
Yeah.
Erica Taro, Jeremy Norton, David Bernhardt, Armando Martinez Ochoa, Lynn Marie, yes. Joey Image, who is a wrestler.
Yeah, I've seen him.
He's fantastic. Tim Van Ryzen, Gary Howard. He's coming to a ton of shows.
Yeah.
Can't wait
we'll
to see
you
Gary.
soon, Howard.
Sherry Amos, Lynn Todd, Amber Wolf, Clay Thorson. I already said that. Liza Ryus, Dustin June Serrano, Dusty June. Hey, Jesus, she's not Dustin. Kimberly McCarthy, Casey Handel, or Dusty June. That could be a lady or a guy.
Oh, yeah. We don't know. That could go either way.
I'm being very fucking presumptuous. Edward Kaczynski, Dita Vasquez, Justin
Ted
Sarr.
Kaczynski?
Yes.
Okay.
Edward Kaczynski
That's
is
his
a
real
very
name.
tough, that's a very serial killery name.
It's Ted Kaczynski.
Oh, is that? No, that was Theodore, isn't it? Because it's Ted.
I thought it was actually,
Edward?
but I thought he was an Edward. He might have been a Theodore. For some reason, I thought, because some Edwards go by
It
Ted.
might be.
It's weird.
Who knows?
Yeah.
Casey Handel, I think I said that. Emily Warwick, Dita Vasquez, Justin Sarr, I think I said that. Elizabeth
thanks,
Nitro.
Justin.
Elizabeth Nigro, that's what it is. This is, okay, LJUBINKA. Jubinka, Duzel.
Beats the shit out of me.
Don't look at me. Jessica Davies, Hulsfeller's co-worker Brett is a cocksucker and jerks off for 30 minutes in the bathroom at work.
Oh, well,
and I just said that in front of a child. Casey Donovan. Summer.
You've brightened a child's day. Hasn't that been nice?
That's hilarious. That's hilarious.
Summer Greer. Brooke Dover and her brother Ben, I guess. Victoria Stern, Haley, Sarah Graham, Mike Visser, Cynthia Cooper, Michael Gruner, Nathan Little, Fraser Smith, Hala, and Emily with no last name. And then home stretch here. Tigran Manata Sakaninian? I don't know.
Manata Sakaninian?
Something like that. Brianna Mattingly. Scott Radum. Claire Olina. Heath. It's Heath Mauger. Heather Johnson. That was the Heather. Katina Knudsen. P with no last name or name at all. Delshire Gladen. Del Cherie, that's what that is. Yeah. Del Cherie. Kel McDonald, Samantha Diffendaffer, Max Ringstad, Emma Banner, and all of our Patreon donors. You guys are as amazing as Joey's laugh. Thank you so much.
Thank you, everybody, you crazy, awesome bastards. We love you.
It's really, listen, fucking life happens every day. And it happens for us, it happens for you guys, and somehow you guys still manage to get through yours and help us get through ours. So thank you, truly.
Shit, do we appreciate it, man. And what if people wanted to appreciate you, Jimmy? How could they tell you about that? You can find me at Whisman Sucks, WHISMAN Sucks on Twitter, Instagram, and Snapchat. And look, I really appreciate everything you guys send to me, every word of positivity, and all the fucking dog pictures really changed my life. There's a dude we've talked about him before, the guy at the zoo in Knoxville, Jacob and his wife Court. They send me some of the fucking coolest close-ups of bears and rhinos and unbelievable animals, and it's cool to see what you guys do. So thank you. Where can they find you? You can find me at Jimmie P is funny. Thank you for whatever you do. I care way less about your animals than Jimmy does. They're nice and all. Yeah. I just don't really give a shit. I love them. They're cool. I'm just like, cute dog. Keep scrolling. Yeah. I don't know. I'm not, I like my dogs and just other people's dogs. I'm like, that's a cute dog. Yeah. If I could pet the dog, then I'm excited. Yeah. I can't pet him. Yeah. So what's the point? It's like looking at fucking strippers. Like, I can't touch that. What am I doing? This isn't fair. Look at that head. I always want to pet it. It's fuzzy and fucking flat. It's rare. You pet that head and you go, you're a good boy. And then they fucking wag their tail. You can't do that. Right. So, find me at Jimmie P is funny. Copy and paste my name from the show description, or, do it that way. You're not going to spell Pietragallo, right? No. Fuck it. That said, we've had a blast again this week. Yeah. And we're going to keep having a blast next week and the week after and the week after and the week after. We'll keep doing it live from the Crime and Sports Studios. We will see you next week. Bye. If you like Crime and Sports, you can listen early and ad-free now by joining Wondery Plus in the Wondery app or on Apple Podcasts. Prime members can listen early and ad-free on Amazon Music. Before you go, tell us about yourself by filling out a short survey at Wondery.com/survey. In the 1980s, a rosé swept the country.
Hey, Mike, I really like this White Zinfandel. Well, good. Now put it down. I'm going to try another one.
White Zin became America's top-selling wine. But most don't know that this sweet drink has a sour history. What began in 1986 with counterfeit bottles,
a big fraud, a multi-million-dollar fraud,
sent investigators chasing one of the most powerful families in the business, the Licciardis. But the closer the feds got to them, the more dangerous things became. It's a story of deceit.
At the time, I was paranoid.
Threats.
You touch my kids, I will kill you.
And murder.
With a .22 caliber bullet to the head.
What started with a scheme to mislabel wine spilled into a blood-soaked battle for succession. Welcome to Bloodvines. You can binge listen to Bloodvines exclusively and ad-free on Wondery Plus. Join Wondery Plus in the Wondery app, Apple Podcasts, or Spotify.